JD, look at me. I'll just give you the when we're live. Like I said, boys, just pan it out and he'll control the rest.
I can't take full credit. Jeff Poe gave me like a gift card to help him out.
D, get ready.
And for a picnic pizza.
D.
Get ready.
Is that right?
Is there a way that you can put the NX game on here?
You should be able to. What?
No?
What?
It's fine.
I thought you said that we could do it.
At this point, I don't care. I just want to start.
But we can still get the NX on the stream, right? You just won't be able to see it.
Oh, on the map. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, I got you.
So can you see both? Can you see? Do we need to move here?
This is the NX cam. That's the...
Okay, cool. I'm saying, but do we need like to switch so you can see when you need to switch?
Yeah.
Or you can just kind of hear it from us.
Can I see? Yeah.
So I was just saying, because you need to know when
I
to
don't know
switch.
when because I don't know hockey.
Just when the puck goes
go
across
the red
center
line.
ice,
Gotcha.
switch it
switch
wherever
that.
whichever camera the
Alright.
puck is on. Because that's what we need to see. And they're panning out. They're not zooming anything. So their shots to be good.
Okay.
Keep it steady. Keep it smooth.
Okay.
Don't zoom too far, but just not yet.
Thank you.
We live? No, we're not. We shouldn't be live yet. Start treating it like it's live though. Thank you, buddy. I know that was a lot.
Sorry.
No, you good.
Thanks, Vince.
Vamp. I'm gonna plug my phone in.
Okay.
Can you hand me the walkie, please?
All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is SEC tournament time here in Nashville. The Gamecocks playing the Kentucky Wildcats. We bring you late into the action, 14:44 to go in the first period. No goals so far, but a lot of fight shown early here from these Gamecocks. Kentucky breaks it back and a shot up high, shrugged off by Jared Ward. The Gamecocks will control, lofted out to center. Kentucky will regroup there. Hounded heavily by one of the Gamecocks, so that's Alec Martone. Excuse me, Jack Watson. Alec Martone, a healthy scratch tonight. Did not travel with the team. And a turnover in the offensive zone. Shannon shoots one wide, and Ward diving back to get the rebound. Puck still loose. Comes back again. Played up and kept in at the line by Kentucky. And that puck will hop up into the Carolina bench. We will have a stoppage of play with 14:17 to go here in the first period. Here in Nashville, the SEC tournament. My name is Dylan Clark alongside Jack Taylor. We apologize for the inconvenience, but we are more than excited to be here to bring you the action tonight.
It's always nice to be in Nashville. It's a great city. It's a great place to be here in the Ford Ice Center. I got the pleasure of being here last year. Actually, the only one on our staff right now that was able to, and it's awesome to bring this new team and this new staff into this really great venue. And we love being here up in the balcony, getting to broadcast this. It took a lot of hard work, but we were finally able to get the stream up, and we apologize for the inconvenience of that. But we'll be with you for the rest of the tournament as long as the Gamecocks go through.
Absolutely. An absolutely beautiful venue here, the Ford Ice Center, practice facility of the Nashville Predators. A decent amount of action here in the early goings of the first period. A couple of great chances by Ian Powderly. Powderly with 7 goals, 8 assists, coming to 15 points here throughout the regular season. He scored the game-winning goal in a crucial game just a few nights ago against UNC Charlotte. That game finalizing itself a 5-3 victory for the Gamecocks. We were able to speak to head coach Alan Surwa, and he really could not emphasize enough the momentum swing that really changed in favor of the Gamecocks. We've got a delay here. Some extended conversation between head coach Surwa and one of the officials here. Now he skates over to the Kentucky bench. Head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats, Tim Peregrine. and some of his assistant coaches, Clay Peregrine, I assume is his brother, and other assistant coaches, Greg Eisen and Clint Eisen. We will drop the puck here in Carolina territory. Kentucky moving it back to the point. Move it back down. Some nice quick passing here. Schultz back to the point. They'll walk it off. Now, on the far side, a shot fanned on the attempt. Now the Gamecocks break it out. It's going to be Jake Tenji. Tenji can't get to the puck in time. Tenji couldn't stay on the side. Lifted back inside by Nick Pizzo. Kentucky controlling behind the net. 14 minutes to go here in this first period. No score, no penalties so far. Tenji intercepts at center ice, and he'll just slap it back on goal. Tenji will head for the bench. That puck behind Francis Ebley, the third-string goaltender for most of the season here for the Wildcats, but he gets the start tonight, this afternoon, against these Carolina Gamecocks. Brought ahead now. Brandon Spindlaw, he drops it off, shoots one, and a big pad save by Ward. The rebound swept behind the goal. Nice play there by Duncan Hickman. Back up to the point it comes. They'll control along the near side wall. Tumbling down to the ice there is Shannon. Jordan Shannon wearing number 23 for Kentucky. They move it back out to the point. Left side, Carolina really pinching down low on this penalty kill. It was a penalty, my mistake. Not exactly easy to hear or see what's going on here, but the Carolina Gamecocks shorthanded for the time being. Comes back to the point, Shannon. Shannon moves in a one-timer. Big toe save there by Jared Ward. Hickman again behind the goal. He'll wrap it around. Schultz able to keep it in for Kentucky. Lays it down low. They'll look to the center. Across, Shannon can't quite handle it. Circling, back to the point again. They'll play give and go. Shannon and Ryan Duffy. Below the goal line now. Shannon looks outside. Shoots one, and a big save up high by Jared Ward yet again. They'll control further still. Back out comes to Duffy. Duffy slides it across. Now a chance, and he shoots and scores. A chance from right down low on the goal line. Not able to see who it was, but Kentucky takes the 1-0 lead on the power play. 12:53 to go here in the first period.
And that was just a display of how quick and controlling this Kentucky offensive attack can be. They were able to swarm on the puck and right in front of the crease and just get one in there right past Ward.
Absolutely fantastic puck movement by these Kentucky Wildcats. That's Brandon Spindlow wearing number 98 tonight in black. And this is the Kentucky offense. 4 games this season, they've scored 10 goals or more. A very potent offense led most of the time by Beck Schultz and Jordan Shannon. Beck Schultz, 32 goals, 22 assists, 54 points on the season so far. But the goal scorer right now, Brandon Spindlow. His first of the tournament, first of this hockey game. Carolina controls off the face-off after a bit of a scrum. They'll wind it up, move it outside. It'll be Jimmy Hatton. Hatton plays it off the boards. Picked up by Schneider. Schneider goes down below the goal line and underneath the net of Ebley. Nice hard check there. Carolina keeps it in. Cochran, a shot from the point, skitters wide. They'll have to regroup again. Coming to the puck now, Jake Pat now. Moving it into Carolina territory. They'll chip it behind a few bodies. Nobody really able to get to it. Aaron Bickle now. Centering pass, and Kostrepski there with a nice defensive play. Get the puck back outside. Controlling at center now. Kentucky winding things up again. Dumped back in. Mike Boss on the puck now. Back to get his Grayson Curry for Carolina. He'll shovel it up the boards to a teammate. Schneider backhands one, not really to anybody. Kostrepski picks it up now down the left wing. Kostrepski touches towards the middle, a shot, and a big glove save there by Francis Ebley. He's been tested a few times so far to start this period, and he has been more than equal to the task. Stop right there on Kostrepski, and at least 2 or 3 earlier attempts from Ian Powderly. We, again, apologize for being unable to bring you those saves, but they were big saves to start off the game. Carolina started off with a lot of momentum tonight up until the goal, but they came out and fought a lot in the game against UNC Charlotte a few nights ago.
And it was one of the best games we've seen from this Gamecock ice hockey team. And we talked to Serwa asking about his game plans, starting the tournament. It's a different field coming into this game, different than the rest of the regular season. So we asked him if he was going to change anything up, and he just said it was business as usual. They were going to try to build off the momentum that they had from that amazing Charlotte game and try to just play with the same level of intensity that they had that night. So we'll see how well they can keep up with that.
It was a packed house up in Indian Trail last week, and they're the odds very much against the Gamecocks. A sea of black and green there, and a sea of blue here tonight. So the fans, once more, against the Carolina Gamecocks, we'll see if they're able to overcome. Now bringing ahead is Shannon, a long shot, and a bit awkwardly gloved and held there by Jared Ward. And that brings us to our next point. Jared Ward, I have written down on my stat sheet, the guy. Jared Ward is the only goaltender traveling with the Carolina Gamecocks down here in Nashville. Bobby Lombardi, as we mentioned a few broadcasts ago, he's out with a back injury. He will be gone for the rest of the season. And again, our thoughts are always with Bobby Lombardi, hoping that he has the speediest recovery possible. Nick Jasinski also did not travel with the team for an undisclosed reason. When we talked to head coach Alan Serwa, wouldn't give us much information on that. But like we said, Carolina down to one goaltender for this entire tournament, and Jared Ward playing a fantastic game against UNC Charlotte a few nights ago.
If he gets injured, you played goalie back in the day. Maybe you could put on some pads and get down there yourself.
I would be more than willing to do that, but we hope it doesn't come to that. Jared Ward playing fantastically, 30 saves on 33 shots against Charlotte. Now, we've been talking about that game a lot, but even head coach Alan Surwa said it was a huge game. It was a huge momentum boost, and you could really see the guys. That was the fastest they've skated all year.
He spoke a lot about Jake Tenji. As a captain, you got to have that level of intensity, and he was skating faster and with more purpose than Coach said he'd ever seen all season.
A turnover. Schultz, a nice chance there, and a great defensive play by Nick Nardzlicko. Puck thunders back behind the Carolina goal, and Schultz will pressure Brian Sword. Puck comes loose. Jack Watson throws up the boards. Another keep in there by the Kentucky defense. They'll work it down low. Unable to really get a handle on it. It'll be the responsibility of Alex Siegfried to get after for Carolina. Now more bodies colliding. Schultz behind the goal for the Wildcats. And now a shot from the point. Big save again by Jared Ward. That time the puck coming off the stick of Alex Luce.
And Kentucky gets the advantage here of having this game being played in Nashville, Tennessee, so it's not as far of a trip as we had to make today and the team had to make last night. So with the 2 p.m. game, the team drove up Thursday night, stayed in Knoxville for a night, and then drove here the next day. But Kentucky did not have to do that, so that's fortunate for them.
Defensive zone win by the Gamecocks, and coming up the ice with speed is Ian Schneider. He'll wrap that around the goal. Jimmy Hatton giving pressure now. Another big hit along the wall. Puck comes free to Hatton in front, a backhander off a couple skates. Hatton another shot. Oh, it might have off the goalpost. Wildcats control again. They'll circle back in with just a little over 10 minutes to go in the first period. A nice breakout pass evades all the sticks and all the legs of pretty much all the players on the ice. And it'll come back in past the stick of Evan Hoey for an icing. Faceoff will come back inside Kentucky territory. Just taking a look at this Kentucky roster, a lot of names that stand out. Specifically, not even the names in general, it's the positions of the players. Kentucky, not really, they don't have a captain or alternate captains or anything like that. They have president, VP, treasurer, and secretary. Beck Schultz serving as the president and VP. Nick
And that's
Wayman.
not unheard of in collegiate club sports. Sometimes they treat it more like an organization than necessarily a team, and so it's a choice that each team needs to make. And so I think when it comes to sports, I think it's more significant to have a captain than a president. I don't know, that just being a player all my life in any sport, I think captain is more apparent than having a president in my mind.
True, but it doesn't seem to matter to Beck Schultz, the Cleveland, Ohio native. Again, 54 points so far this season. He's doing just fine. Faceoff comes back out, unable to be held in. Gamecocks will backhand it in once more. That's Evan Hoey on the puck. In their own zone, Kentucky will try again to break it out. They like those long stretch passes on the breakout. It's come back to bite them a few times, and they'll bring it in ahead with speed. Another blocker saved by Jared Ward, and some of the Carolina defenders confused as to who's going to get it. Corey Day's got it behind the goal, tries to center, and well broken up there by Corey Hawkinson. Hawkinson still unable to get to the puck. It goes off his skate as he hangs on to the Kentucky Wildcat bench. They'll break out again, almost a 3-on-2 there for the Wildcats. Bringing it over the line, Mike DeAngelis. He's whistled down offsides. 9:18, to go in this first period. A 1-0 lead for the, not exactly home team, but for the well-represented Wildcats here in Nashville.
Well, and being it as their first year here in the tournament, they're getting a lot of representation and a lot of excitement from their fans as they're able to represent their school here in the SEC HC.
An absolutely exceptional hockey club, 19-7-2 on the regular season. They come in ranked number 3 into this tournament. Carolina, number 6-9-9-2 so far in their regular season. Face-off one on a long shot, easily sticked away by Jared Ward. Grayson Curry controls it again. He'll throw it up the wall to Ian Schneider. Schneider, a nice little touch pass up to Kostrepski. Schneider's got it after Kostrepski takes some contact there. Back up to the point. Cochran keeps it in. Jimmy Hatton almost gets in. Now comes free to one of the Wildcats. Another chip shot out through center ice. They'll come with speed. And walking it through. A nice pass through center. Jimmy Hatton again off the stick of Kostrepski, and it'll come right to the net. And the puck stopped and frozen by Francis Ebley. 8:42 to go in this game. Again, 1-0 lead by Kentucky off of the goal by Brandon Spindlau.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe this is the first matchup that we have seen the Gamecocks playing Kentucky.
Right, that is absolutely correct. We have not seen these Kentucky Wildcats in the regular season.
So this is a brand new territory, and normally in the SEC that's anything but, as they are very familiar with the rest of the teams in this conference.
It is. This Kentucky coming off a 6-4 win just a few nights ago against top-ranked Georgia. That was an upset that caught everybody's attention. Now catching the attention behind the goal is a big hit and a chance in front. Jake Tenji couldn't get a handle on it. Now the Kentucky comes back the other way. Aaron Bickle. Bickle forces it out wide with speed. Bickle drops it off and unable to convert on that puck. Carolina backhands it out again. Tenji holds it center ice. What does he want to do with it? A nice stretch pass over. Sean Davis got a shot off the goalpost. Tenji a follow-up drive and another stick save. Puck thunders up into the glass. Kentucky tries to get it out. May have been played with a high stick there. Either way, Hickman slaps it back in. Behind the goal, a very fortunate Francis Ebley right now. Puck coming back out front all the way down the ice. We will not have an icing. Both teams might get a line change here. We had a Kentucky player fall at center ice. No penalty called. Puck just barely touched a little bit by Sean Davis. Excuse me, that's Ben Smith. Kentucky counters quickly, though. A big hit there, almost by Evan Hoey. And now another big hit. Oh, the game's going to get chippy again. We saw that in Charlotte. Powderly brings it ahead. Powderly hauled down there along the far side wall. Picked up by Ben Smith. Ben Smith's got a chance, and he shoots it right into the crest. That big Kentucky logo on the chest of Francis Ebley. We'll get a stoppage in play as more players collide behind the net.
And this would not be a South Carolina ice hockey game if it wasn't extremely chippy. And as we talked about all season, the Gamecocks got to make sure, especially in the tournament, in a whole new environment, that they keep their heads on straight, keep the penalties to a minimum, and try to just take advantage of anything they can in this game to try to get ahead.
Absolutely. As I'm sure you'll come to see, it is a hobby of us to keep you updated on the penalty minutes of Brian Soar. Now up to 71 penalty minutes on the season. He obviously the team leader in penalty minutes.
Well,
back to the point, a shot off the face-off going off one of the legs of the Wildcats in front. They'll try to get it out, comes off a body. Now they'll slap it aside to open territory. Near side, it's Nick Nards-Licko. He takes a hook. No penalty called. Behind the goal, the puck goes. Played up and again, held in by Brian Soar. Soar has the puck go between his legs. Now a chance here. Nice move between the legs. Now it's Shannon. Shannon tries to make a move. Puck comes free to Schultz. A shot. He scores. An unbelievable effort by Jordan Shannon and Beck Schultz. And the Wildcats find themselves up by 2 with just over 7 to go in the period.
And that's just a decision that Jared Ward has to make maybe just a microsecond earlier, because he had 2 Wildcats coming at him, had to determine which one he was going to cover, and he ended up diving for it, trying to knock it out, get a poke check, and he was maybe just a second late, and if he had gotten there earlier, he might have been able to pop that back out to the defensive zone, or out to the defensive blue line. But a great offensive attack, and I mean, he really had no help on the defensive end, so you can't put that all on Ward.
No, that was all the speed of this Wildcat offense. It catches you by surprise, as we've seen by some of the records this year. Puck chipped off the wall again. The earlier goal scorer, Brendan Spinlaw, tries to get it. Kostrepski just backhands it in for the Gamecocks. Giving chase, Corey Hawkinson. Puck coming free along the near side wall. They'll chip it up and out, and the Gamecocks will try to slap it back in. Thrown up high, glove down, and moved over to a teammate. That teammate, Remy Payne. Far side chance over the right side. Ooh, nice pass there. Intended for Brandon Spindlau. Goes wide. Cochran slaps it around. Grayson Curry picks it up. He can't handle it. Now it comes 3 again. Pulling up at center ice. That's Corey Day. Corey Day slaps it over Kostrepski. Nice pass. Unable to be controlled by anybody. Remy Payne kept it in. Now the Gamecocks, they'll play 2-on-1. Now 2-on-2 over that far side corner. Tenji behind, that's Grayson Curry behind the goal. Curry spins out, he'll look for an option. He got it on the right side. Stretch pass intended for Jeffrey Kostrepski. Foiled again by the Wildcats. They'll come back in with more speed again. It's Max Boss. Boss dropping it off. A pass intended to the far side, unable to be picked up. Back to the point, a long drive. It goes off the glass, high over the goal of Jared Ward. Collision on the near side now, and the puck comes free to Ben Smith. Ben Smith tries to make a move. He can't make it. Can't get it to work. Jack Watson now. Now the puck thunders in again. Gamecocks will try to regroup. Ben Smith unable to connect on that pass. Max Boss to get it behind the goal for Kentucky. 5:30 to go in this first period. Kentucky, and a turnover at the blue line. Ian Powderly's got some speed now in the corner. Gamecocks looking a little defeated and a little less energetic than we saw them come out with not even 20 minutes ago. Breakout pass to the boys in black. They'll throw it into the far side corner. They'll get a line change going. Drummond tripping it up, and another icing called here with 5:09 to go in this first period.
Yeah, the Gamecocks definitely seem to be drained of the kind of speed and the energy that they had coming at the beginning, and it's definitely having an impact because this Gamecock team relies on their momentum, and when they don't have any that they have been able to build, it's a very big hill to climb to try to get back up and shorten this deficit.
Absolutely, but you know what? That's what this SEC tournament does. It separates the teams that have that mental toughness from the ones that don't. And right now, Carolina's got to dig deep both physically and mentally if they want to get themselves out of this 2-goal hole. A shot from the point goes wide. Jared Ward tries to get back to his goalpost and protect it from the near side. Puck kept in on the far side wall. Some nice defensive play there. The Gamecocks will move it out. Schneider almost a 2-on-1 with Tenji. Schneider cutting the middle. He can't get anything to go there. Puck picked up in the slot. Trying to move it out of friendly territories. Ryan Duffy. Puck skipping all the way down the ice. A bit of a muffed pass there. They'll get it out to center. Now the puck taken over once again by Gamecocks. A swipe by Jake Tenji, unable to connect on that puck, and it'll fall again behind the goal of Ebely. Very controlled breakout here by Kentucky. Nice passing, nice crisp passing. We've seen it all throughout this first period. That's what's allowed them to have their 2-goal lead. Slapped around the corner by Hoey, out past the skates of its intended recipient. And some more unfortunate passing here. I think that's the best way to describe it. It goes off the net and behind the goal, a chance there by one of the Gamecocks, and they got run from behind. Face-off will come to the right of Ebely's net, and the net almost coming off there. We see again that physicality coming through. Head coach Alan Sturwa really liked it in the game against Charlotte, and we're not seeing quite as much of it here tonight, but we are seeing shades of it right there at that net front play.
Well, and always with that physicality, it comes a little bit of a sloppiness in terms of organization, and that's definitely showing up in the way that the Gamecocks are trying to attack on the offense. They just don't seem to be able to communicating too well, and it doesn't seem like they understand where they're supposed to be at the same time.
It's a very structured game played by the Wildcats. It's something the Gamecocks will try their best to emulate. They haven't been consistent with it all season. Again, that 9-9-2 record. Gamecocks a perfect .500 on home and away, 5-5-1 at home, 4-4-1 on the road. So they are no better or no worse no matter where they play. So that can be a good thing, that can be a bad thing. But again, they're in hostile territory tonight, here all the way in Nashville. A point shot by Nardzliko goes off a couple of skates, and Nardzliko gets it again. He'll wrap it back inside, glove down to the stick, and a chance thrown towards the goal, picked up by the Wildcats. Now with some speed down the right wing is Shannon. Shannon brushes off a check. Some nice defensive play there by Duncan Hickman. Again, down the wing is Schultz. Schultz converting on that second goal earlier on. A chance on the front of the net. Now comes back to the point, winding and firing a shot that goes just wide. Remy Payne. Held in again, and now taking control is Carolina. Stretch pass to Kostrepsky. Might have a 2-on-1 coming in. That's quickly foiled by Kentucky. A chance by Schneider. Goes off the leg of Schultz in front. Soar taking a big check. And more passes unable to be connected there. Nardzliko takes it at center. He'll slap it back in off the stick of Beck Schultz. And Kentucky controls once more with 3:08 to go in the first period. We've still got a lot more hockey to go. Drop pass picked up, shuffled towards the front, and he'll take the heat out of the hot kitchen there. That's Duncan Hickman yet again. Tenji, a bad turnover there at center ice. Kentucky a little surprised by that when they were looking to make sure everybody's on sides. And now a chance down the left wing, shot just wide by Nick Pizzo. Again, Carolina just getting one or two chances, not a lot of succession after the chances, but every once in a while they get a real good look at the net. And if they start converting on that, they might have a better recipe for success here in the later stages of the game. Sent down at center ice, a hefty check there, coming on the shoulders of Nick Nardzliko. And now a check by Jake Tenji, and the tempers trying to flare a little bit here in the first period. Grayson Curry behind his own goal. He'll survey the lay of the land. Pass intended for Powderly. He had to whip around and try and get that puck corralled. He couldn't do it. Grayson Curry showing some nice fight. Duncan Hickman controlling for Carolina. Shoveled ahead, and Hickman colliding at center ice with one of the Wildcats. Behind the goal again, they got it. A chance in front, and shoveled just through the crease. A puck by Jack Watson. Watson's got it again. He tries to move it down low to Smith. It comes off a few more skates. Kentucky foils that offensive front. Back again, one Kentucky Wildcat forechecking quite admirably. Gamecocks regrouping yet one more time. Unsuccessfully, yet one more time. Back is Aaron Bickle for the Wildcats. A shot up high, just avoiding the glove of Jared Ward. Puck rattles all the way around the glass, and Wildcats getting a quick transition here Now, none of the Gamecocks seem to want to get the puck. Rimmed around, back to the point. A fake shot there by Charmick. And it comes around to the far side by a couple of Gamecocks colliding with a couple of Wildcats. That's Jake Patnow. Patnow again, back to the point man. Nice move around one of the Gamecock forwards, and a chance in front, coming off a bunch of sticks. Now they can't get a chance at it. Back to the point again, a winding, firing shot just goes wide. Kentucky controls again. The seconds continue to fall off. We're inside a minute here in the first period, and now the referee's arm goes up. We will have a penalty, much to the chagrin of one of the Gamecock players. No numbers on the sleeves there. We can't exactly tell who it is. It might be a boarding call here in the early stages of this hockey game. 24, that's Dave Cochran. He'll sit for a pair. He slams the bench shut. He's not too happy about that. And the Gamecocks will yet again find themselves shorthanded. 53.3 to go in the first period. Carolina trailing by 2. One of those goals came early on in this first period off the stick of Brandon Spindlau. Again, a power play goal. Carolina maybe trying to get some momentum here if they can kill off this penalty, or at least if they can make it to the end of the period without letting up a goal. That can be a step in the right direction. Either way, they control it down low for Kentucky. Trying to move it back outside. Excuse me. Powderly gets it for the Gamecocks. Powderly throwing one up high, avoids all the gloves and sticks of the Wildcats. Playing it up to the wingers now. They'll break it out once more from their own zone. Chopped back inside. It comes back free to Shannon. Shannon cutting away from 3 Gamecocks. Shannon moving all the way out to the left side, walking the line. Back down low, a shot off the side of the cage. Coming free again, Aaron Bickle, and some more words again in front of the net and by the Carolina bench. We have a stoppage in play once more. More penalties will be handed out. As the official gives it to the scorers, looks like Brandon Spindlau is going to sit for a pair. We will skate 4-on-4 for the foreseeable future, barring any goals so far. Shots on goal at this current juncture, 8 for the Wildcats, 7 for the Gamecocks. It's a close game in that regard, but again, Carolina finding themselves in an early 2-0 hole. Face-off will be taken by Jeffrey Kostrepski, sporting his blue pants as always, as I know Jack likes to mention that one. And a quick shot off the draw, ably saved by Ebley. And we see 2 seconds come off the clock. We'll have 20 more to go. We're talking a lot about Jordan Shannon, the native of Newport News, Virginia. He's been an absolute force so far in this first period. He's got at least 1 assist, not entirely sure about the other one. And he's obviously on the ice right now. He's got the puck. Shannon pulls up, shoots one right into the big black C on the chest of Jared Ward. And Jared Ward will not let that puck go. Another defensive zone faceoff for the Gamecocks. If they can start winning these, maybe get a controlled breakout going, maybe they can turn things around in their favor. Shannon headed to the bench for Kentucky. They will get a new power play unit out.
And they seem to be a little bit more decisive on that defensive stand, making sure they were going to shut down any chance that the Kentucky Wildcats had as quick as possible.
Tenji lost his stick in a centering pass. Now a chance in front. Wow. What an opportunity for Corey Day, and he rifles it high over the glass into the netting. Just 2 ticks of the clock to go. And you got to think if Day buries that one, we're looking at a very different hockey game headed into the first intermission. Face off again to the left of Jared Ward. Nothing will come of it. The puck just skitters in the near side boards. The clock hits zeros. Tenji getting a little involved with Beck Schultz there. And these 2 teams will head to the dressing room. Kentucky, the victors of the first period. 2-0 the score after 20. 9 shots on goal for the Wildcats, 7 for the Gamecocks. And you got to think head coach Alan Sirwell's going to have a lot to say to this team if they want to come out of the second period with a different result.
And we will go to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the second period for you and see what changes Sirwell has made and see how the Gamecocks are going to try to get back on top here. Be right back. I know, we got 19 on this one, so but removing the battery didn't have the shredder. So then we should be fine. I know, but you got to keep it at least level. You got to use 2 hands. All right, so that one's at full battery, so I'm going to let you charge as much as possible right before I pull it. Because that one's got 10 minutes, like you said, and then we'll just keep So, yeah, I mean, sure. That's true. Here, go. Dylan. Never mind. Never mind. Whose phone is that? Is that like a... Oh, nice. No, I don't have that.
We're communicating via hand signals. He's not hearing me.
What we usually do is we usually send texts back and forth.
There was one time when we had Claudia in the box, like halftime, we just zoomed in on her and waved at her.
Wait, can we put somebody in the box?
I asked Mike why he was down here or up here, but he said he liked the view better up here.
Oh, this view is amazing. This is what I prefer.
Same view from Charlotte.
Yeah.
30 and well, not 30 drunk hockey fans standing right next to us.
It's like 300.
Yeah, it's actually more like 300. And we actually have some credentials to do this now. Okay, so now we figured it out, so we can use that the whole time. And we're looking at, is it not going this far?
No,
Are we good? Yeah, I'll plug it in. Yeah, we're good. You gotta worry about all the cords around. Check the stream.
Yeah, it works. Is there a way to see how many people are viewing it?
Last I checked, it was 27. Hold on.
Really?
Yeah, I thought 28.
Because Kentucky retweeted the link.
Yeah.
I know, I saw
They're
that.
watching. Right now it's 23, but it's
For the second period intermission, we'll probably just go over there. And our actual hours should be long enough to do that, right? Should be long enough to do that, right? Oh, they're all tangled up and everything. I do not remember having this many cables last year. If I unplug the mics, will that do anything? If I unplug the mics? We're gonna figure it out. Yeah, I know. I did not have this many mics or this many cables last year. tape cam, if you're doing it right here. You're right in front of us. I don't know if you're like all behind us. I heard the second three. Because I think that's going to be the best thing to do. Because that's not long enough and we don't want to move all the cord. That's got more cords connected to it. Yeah. So that'll be the better thing to do. I just untangle it because his should be able to get. Yeah. So you can just. Pop it over there. So it should be fine. I know it's bad. Makes it a little bit better. I'm gonna look at pizza real quick. We got what, 5 minutes?
Are we allowed? Yeah, but we're not. Whatever. I don't care.
Three is Corey Hankinson. Or Hawkins. It's either Hankinson or
All right, welcome back inside the broadcast booth here in Nashville, the Ford Ice Center. Practice home of the Nashville Predators, where Kentucky Wildcats lead after 20 minutes. Your South Carolina Gamecocks by a score of 2-0. It was an even game, even though the score doesn't exactly reflect that throughout most of the first period.
The Wildcats were able to capitalize on a couple of offensive attacks, and what I was really impressed with the Wildcats is that anytime the Gamecocks were able to get a chance in the offensive zone, Kentucky was very quick to swarm to the puck and make sure that we're not able to capitalize off of those offensive attacks.
Right, and we talk a lot about Carolina's ability, or in some cases inability, to shut down leading scorers of the opposition. Namely, my first example that comes to mind is Carter Penzian of the Georgia Bulldogs. Carolina unable to shut him down, and he ran rampant all over the Gamecocks just a few weeks ago. And Beck Schultz, leading goal scorer and point getter for these Wildcats, already notching a goal towards the end of that first period. And I think one of the keys to success, if Carolina wants to climb back into this hockey game, again, it is close, but they find themselves in a 2-goal deficit. If they want to climb back in, they need to shut down Beck Schultz at all costs.
And I think they need to feed it through their leading point scorer, and Jeffrey Kostrebski.
Absolutely, it's been a quiet few games for Kostrebski. He hasn't scored in, I believe 3 games, but the puck is down. We are moving here in the second frame, game 1 of this SEC tournament. Carolina moving the puck real well up at the point. They'll thunder it back in below the goal line. Tenji wearing the C tonight for Carolina, as he does every night. Unable to control the puck now, and the Wildcats have it. Tenji hounding the Wildcats behind their own goal, and Kentucky comes away with it. Unable to be, oh no, they couldn't clear it. Now they will. Holding it in again is Jimmy Hatton. Hatton down the right wing. He'll look towards the goal. A nice move between the legs, but it's foiled down by one of the Wildcat defenders. Bringing it ahead again, Corey Day. Day, a nice chance earlier on in the first period to make it a 3-0 lead, but he threw that one over the goal mouth, and he's going to try to redeem himself here for sure in the second period. Just outside the Carolina blue line, they will pick it up, and some nice speed here coming down the middle by Sean Davis. Sean Davis has that puck off the goal cage. Now comes back to the point, a chance, a shot, goes off a couple of bodies in front. Nobody can really come away with it. Now a chance in front, it goes into the corner. Absolutely fantastic work by Corey Hawkinson. Carolina cannot hold it in the blue line. They'll regroup at center. Gray Curry turns over his right shoulder. He'll throw it right back into Wildcat territory. Behind the goal, Francis Ebley looks on as his defenders try to work it away from the Gamecocks. Picking it up now, Hawkinson throwing it in front. Comes back out to the point, walking the line, shooting one off a couple of bodies in front. And a nice save there, again, by Francis Ebley. That puck coming off the stick of Brian Soar, and without a doubt, off a couple of skates in that slot.
And I think it actually might have come off of Ian Schneider, because he had, at the very end of it, almost looked like he was able to redirect it into the net, back of the net. But quick play from the Kentucky goal. But coming off of the second period, just way more aggressive and way more just quick to get on the attack. And that's what you need from the Gamecocks if they want to get back in this game.
Yeah, their frame of mind is looking far better than it did at the end of the first period. And that usually translates into success for the boys in white out here tonight. I did not mean to do that. Puck comes free into the corner. Back now to the point for Carolina, trying to work it 3. Free, now again comes Beck Schultz. Oh boy, he's with Shannon. Shannon unable to corral that puck. He'll turn around, and he inadvertently starts a breakout for Carolina. Here comes Hawkinson. Hawkinson, been a real force here in the early going of this second period. 18-11 to go in that. Back ahead comes Schultz for Kentucky. The Wildcat cuts to the center, a shot off the blocker Ward. He doesn't know where the puck is, and swept back behind the goal by Duncan Hickman. Off a few more bodies, Jared Ward slashes out with that big paddle, and he whacks the puck behind the goal. Controlled again by Beck Schultz. Tries to make a move around Soar. The puck comes free in front, and a chance on the goal mouth. Denied by Jared Ward. Comes back out to the point again. Shot from long range. Wide of the goal. Soar controls for Carolina. He's got some room. He rips it up off the glass. And Kentucky will have to regroup at center. A big chance there by Kentucky again to try and make this game 3-0. Shoveling it in behind the goal once more. It's a tactic used by a lot of teams against these Gamecocks. The Carolina trying to shut that down. And a nice centering pass there, disrupted by Nick Narnslicko. Wrapping it around again. Kentucky, again, falls victim to the physical play of these Gamecocks. And now Day will bring it back out to his defenseman. Chipping it back in. Waving his stick at it is Smith, and Smith can't quite get that puck out. So great job by the Wildcats to hold it in. That puck may have come over the line, getting hit from behind there. That's Ryan Duffy. And now another collision at center ice, and Powderly's got a chance. Ben Smith pokes that free away from 2 Wildcats. We got more players tumbling all along this ice surface. The puck comes back free behind the goal. Carolina able to get a line change. They'll battle for it some more. Now up to get it, Jack Watson. He collides with a few players. Kentucky able to clear it out, and another delayed penalty. This one coming up again. The Gamecocks will parade to the penalty box. We're just going to wait a second to see who it is they're taking off. It looks like it may be Ben Smith.
And the Gamecocks did a good job last time they were in the penalty. They had a power play for Kentucky of able to get the penalty kill and able to do it quickly and efficiently. So hopefully, if they want to keep this deficit the way it is, they can do that just the same right here in the second period.
Yeah, unable to see who it was that went into the box for the Gamecocks. But we did see the hand signal from the official. It will be 2 minutes for slashing at 16:34 left in this second period. Once again, the Gamecocks return to the penalty kill, and Jared Ward looks on, more ready than ever to try and hold his team in it here. Payne cycles it back down low. A very efficient Kentucky power play being stifled right now by incredible physical play by the Gamecocks, and a nice play there. Alec Martone. Not Alec Martone. Corey Hawkinson. I keep wanting to say Alec Martone. Hawkinson able to get it out of very dangerous territory. Beck Schultz brings it up again. He takes a hit. He loses a glove there after that hit from Evan Hoey. And now another crushing blow by Corey Hawkinson. The victim of that one, Brandon Spindlau.
Much more physical play from both teams here in the second period.
And I can only imagine that it'll increase as time goes on. Some speedy breakouts here. Schultz, a nice pass up off the stick of Payne, and it'll come back behind the goal line. Payne tries to center, and a nice stick play there by Jared Ward to disrupt that pass. Attempting to break it out here are the Gamecocks. Short-handed, a bit of a questionable strategy there. Comes off the skate of Ian Schneider. And the Wildcats will break it out once more. Coming up through center now and able to touch up on sides, Jordan Shannon. Puck coming in, more collisions on the far side bench right outside that Kentucky blue line. And now they'll come free again. And having to regroup at center ice, Duffy cycling it ahead. Day can't quite get a handle on it. They'll play pitch and catch with it, and now again it's Duffy. Duffy shooting one, and a shot that may have got a piece of Jarrett Ward. It definitely got the goalpost. Either way, it stays out of the net. Now a centering pass in front. A backhander goes off one of the Gamecocks lying prone in front of the net. A nice block there. Back down below again, and taking a hit there by Gray Curry. Wildcats prevail. They take it away again. Cycling it back down low. Once more, it's Day. Cycling in front. Curry disrupts again, but again, Kentucky can't keep that puck. Kentucky continues to keep the puck in front. Now a chance in front, shooting one through the goal mouth. Couldn't see who that was. And now a chance out of the box. Now it's Powderly. Powderly pulls up, shoots one, tries to go 5-hole save, made a rebound, and it pops over the net and kept out by a glove of one of the Wildcats. Another shot goes wide. Might have been off the blocker of Ebley. And now an injured player down in front of the goal. What an insane exchange of events there. I can't even tell how that puck stayed out of the net.
And you can't even call that really a missed opportunity because they did everything they could to get that try to get the puck in the back of the net, and by the fingertips of a defender was able to keep it out. And that was Ian Powderly, who just with the hesitation tried to slip one in there, and that was a great effort from Powderly. And then another thing I noticed is that during that power kill is that or that penalty kill is what I meant. Excuse me. That there was much more of a defensive presence for the Gamecocks, and Ward had a lot more help in defending a lot of those shots on goal. A
lot of blocked shots. Again, that's one of those things we talked to Alan Serwa about before the game. He really mentioned that as a key to success against Charlotte last week, and he knew for a fact that it would be another key to success tonight against the Wildcats.
Now Serwa was having a chat with the refs, and we were talking about an even game, and even though the score is 2-0, I mean, the shots on goal are only 11-10, so they're getting just dang near the same amount, but I guess it's more quality than quantity.
A lot of good looks on net for the Gamecocks, and you got to think if they're able to keep up this level of intensity, at some point things are going to turn in their favor. But right now they're going to have to contend with a 3-on-2. A lot of black shirts coming their way. A stick save by Jared Ward on the long shot, and that puck pops out over the netting. We will have a face-off once more with 14-16 to go in this second period. Again, a 2-0 hockey game. Kentucky find themselves out front, at least for the time being, with a strong offensive presence by Carolina facing them now. Given a lot of time here to line changes so far tonight. That's one thing I know I've noticed.
Well, with this tournament, there's a lot of stamina required in the multiple days that you got to play, depending on how far you get in. So you want to make sure that all your players are well rested and well ready for the tournament at hand.
Yeah, and you take a look at the two benches. Kentucky's bench a lot longer than Carolina's. Some players out due to injuries and sickness, and now a chance back the other way for the Wildcats. A chance in front. Nice pad stop by Jared Ward, getting his body down low to block that shot. Sword tries to jam one up through center off the stick of Kostrepski. Maybe not. It comes back for an icing, and Kostrepski gives it a little whack as it comes right in front of Francis Ebley. Ebley not a very big fan of that move, but either way, the puck comes back down into Gamecock territory with 14:01 to go in the second period.
And the Gamecocks got to get something going here. They got to be able to connect on some play or some pass to try to get this deficit, or at least at this point, get it out of their defensive zone.
Interesting enough, Carolina lining up all 5 guys in one line on the defensive zone faceoff. Not usually what you see here. Again, but this is not a usual hockey game. This is against a very, very good Kentucky opponent. Again, upsetting Georgia just a few days ago by a score of 6-4. Again, some of those breakout passes that Carolina missing, a lot of wasted opportunities here, but they seem to be improving as time goes on, and I guess at some point that's you got to be happy with that.
And you would hope at some point that would turn over into points.
Absolutely. Kostrepski wheeling it out wide. He gets collided with 3 Kentucky players. Puck swatted on the far side. Now we've got more to go with Kostrepski.
You got fighting behind the goal. You got fighting behind the left zone. I mean, you got fighting everywhere on the ice right now. It's getting chippier and chippier. And I think off of Kostrepski's body language as he slams his stick under the ice that he might, if not just going to the bench, there might be more for him.
Zach Chamrick, not the instigator, but another one of the participants here in that little scrum behind the goal, eventually knocking the net off.
See what the refs do right now.
Chamrick goes to the box, and looking like Kostrepski will join him. Not in the same box, obviously. That would be just foolish.
I might make it a little more interesting.
It would be very interesting, but I would still say foolish. It will be Chamrick and Kostrepski, most likely a roughing minor to each man, and we will skate 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes here as we stand with 13:23 in the second period. Keeping you updated on the shots. They are as close as ever. 12 shots for the Wildcats, 10 for the Gamecocks. And again, not exactly what we would expect. We expected a bit more of a lopsided matchup here. But again, Shannon tripped up at center ice. No call on that play. Shannon coming through with speed. He meets 3 Gamecocks. Coming ahead, Ian Schneider. He'll drop it off for a D-man. Goes off a couple of legs. And now Jake Tenji brings it with speed. Tenji avoids a nice hip check. Now Tenji's got a little bit of room. He's got Sword through the middle. A chance in front. Nothing going there. Schneider. Now a chance for Tenji. Moves it back onto the point. And unable to hold it in is Nick Nardzliko. Nice chance there by the Gamecocks with some speed. Got a touch up now. Here again, Schneider with a long wrister and a big glove save. Francis Ebley flashing the leather on Ian Schneider.
But after even though you might say, again, another missed opportunity as we sound like a broken record, I think if you are Sir Wall, you are happy with the play from your captain. He seemed to facilitate every single chance they had in that offensive attack and skating through defenders and backwards passes, behind the back passes. He was doing everything possible to try to get that puck in the back of the net.
Yeah, we had a nice discussion with Alan Surwa about how much Jake Tenji means to this team and how much he brings to the table now that he's back from injury to start this the second semester. Back to the point, a shot goes wide, coming off the stick of Cochran. Curry now bodied by Corey Day. And now the puck comes back 3 off the side of the goal cage with 12:34 to go in the second period. 1:09 to go on the offsetting minors. That finds both a Gamecock and a Wildcat in the penalty box. Behind the goal, it is Cochran. Unable to keep control. Wildcats maintain, and they will move it up and out off the stick of Day. Day on the right side. A long shot goes off 3 or 4 legs, and a dangerous play right in front. Wow, almost poked home there by one of the Wildcats. He had a yawning net in front of him. Not a lot of urgency on the part of the Gamecock defenders. The puck comes back down into Carolina territory. The arm of the referee, as well as Jared Ward, rocket into the air, and we will have yet another icing. 39 seconds to go on those offsetting minors. Back again to remind you of the goals from the first period. The first one a bit earlier on, coming off the stick of Brandon Spindlau, and later on in that the first period, again, Beck Schultz with it would be the 33rd goal of the season, his first of the tournament. Not entirely sure if the record-keeping merges SEC tournament and regular season play. Either way, it's Charlie Day getting the puck poked off his stick. And again, wow, nice spin move there by Spindlow.
Spin move by Spindlow.
Spin move by Spindlow. I love it.
I'm sorry.
Speed from the Gamecocks. Gray Curry. He's got Jimmy Hatton. A nice, wow. The spin cycle being put on everybody now. Hatton takes a check. We got more whistles. We got more penalties. And a hooking call coming up to Ryan Duffy. He's going to sit for a pair. We're going to have 4-on-3 for 11 seconds. And after that, the Gamecocks will have a 5-on-4 power play, an abbreviated 5-on-4 power play. But if there was ever a time for Carolina to get back into the game, it's right now.
Absolutely right now. And I think that the Gamecocks haven't done the best job this year of capitalizing on those power plays. But we saw it in Charlotte when they had the 5-minute major that they were able to score as many goals as they could within that period and get the lead in that game. That essentially gave them that game. So maybe they can build off of the game plan that they had that night, associate it and bring it here and try to use that same type of play to get at least up into a one-goal game.
Absolutely. Who else does Coach Surwatt tap to take that face-off but Jake Tenji? He wins it back, and Soar controls. He's got some room. Soar looking, shooting. He shoots and scores! Brian Soar, a low glove side wrister, and Carolina slashes the lead in half. 11:22 to go in the second period.
He didn't even hesitate on that. Soar, the minute he took it, the minute it hit his stick, he flung it in. And look, it went in so fast I couldn't entirely tell, but it looked to me like it went in between the legs of the Wildcat goalie, but it looks like it probably went to the right or left. That would be more of the reasonable thinking, I would think. I couldn't entirely see where it went.
Over the pad, under the glove on the short side of Ebley, an extremely difficult spot for the goaltender to get to that puck. And Brian Soar, with his head up all the way, seemed to be thinking that very same thing. Puck dropped at center ice, and we are moving here 5-on-5, halfway through the second period, halfway through this hockey game, for those of you mathematicians out there. I know I'm certainly not one.
That's why we're in this business.
Absolutely. Gamecocks will regroup. Soar, the goal scorer's got it now. He lifts it up into the air, not off anything. And Kentucky will control it back to puck. Now a chance in front of shot. He shoots and scores! Jack Watson rips one home, and oh boy, we've got a tie game.
That one hit right off the left post, and it went into the back right corner of the net. And that, what I was thinking as that was going is when we were playing in Charlotte, even playing in the Plex, a puck that would fly that high, I don't know if we caught it on camera, that would hit the rafters and that would be blown dead. But it was able to soar because we have this great Predators facility. It was able to soar up, untouched, right into the area where they were able to make a play off of it. And that was a great, and that's what you want to see from the Gamecocks to get back in this game.
Nice shot there by Jack Watson. Ebley getting a piece of it, but obviously not enough here. And 2 goals just seconds apart. And we've got a tie hockey game. Carolina now out shooting Kentucky by 13-12 is the official mark right now. And you got to think some confusion there on the bench of these Kentucky Wildcats and head coach Tim Pergram.
My word, Evan Hoey just obliterated and collided with a Kentucky defender who just hit someone else on the wall, and they're getting ever more chippy as the score is now even tonight.
We have a lot more collisions now. Powderly brings it ahead with speed, leading all rookies in scoring for the Gamecocks. A shot up high over the glass, and now a big hit on the near side wall. 2 players colliding down. That's the goal scorer, Jack Watson, making his presence known both on the offensive and physical sides of this game. Puck blown down on the offsides call, and as well as absorbed by the glove of Jarrett Warden. I hope we got that hit on camera. That was a bone-rattling hit.
I'm so in shock with the play and the turnaround from this Gamecock team. Looking like a completely different lineup on the ice, and just completely different players in different skates, different pads, different game plan, everything. They just completely rejuvenated and revived themselves to get this into an even game.
Absolutely. You just see a lot more fire, a lot more readiness to go here on the part of the Gamecocks. Just over 10 minutes to play here. Kostrepski hounded heavily there by Patrick Lehman. Now comes back into Wildcat territory. They will regroup. Pressured again. Gamecocks forechecking heavily here throughout this second period, and it's obviously worked well in their favor. They've gotten this game tied up. Bringing it back. A nice saucer pass. Tipped in front of Chance. And off the outside of the cage, Jarrett Ward may have gotten a piece of that. And Jarrett Ward going after one of the forwards for Kentucky. We've got shoving. We've got punches.
Swinging.
Wow. I didn't see. Somebody got a stick involved after Ward had obviously had the puck covered. The whistle blew, and Ward took exception, getting a few shots up high.
He came right up to Ryan Duffy with bad intentions.
Was it Duffy?
It was number 74. It looks like it was that's who got the blunt of the hit right there, as it seems he's grasping his chin, and he looks to be okay. But that's who I saw getting the roughing there.
Bit of a message sending time here for Jared Ward. He's we don't know him personally, but he seems like one of the more quiet individuals on this team, except for right there, an outpouring of emotion, something that we see this tournament brings around and every year.
Whenever you see your goalie, loses steam, I think that makes it even more apparent of how insulting the act was, or how mad he was at whatever occurred.
Yeah. Obviously, a lot of times you want to. It usually falls to the responsibility of the defenders to protect their goaltender, but that time, Jared Ward said, "Why wait? I'll do it myself." We got a meeting of captains and leaders here around center ice. Jake Tenji being sternly spoken to by our head referee right now.
I think they're also trying to figure out what to do about the 2-minute penalty or the 2-minute minor on Ward, because obviously he can't take that. So they got to find a way to. They got to figure out what they're going to do with that.
No, Jared Ward's got to be careful though. I can't imagine if they would throw him out of this hockey game for any reason. That's, again, like we said earlier on, Nick Jasinski not here. Bobby Lombardi injured, out for the rest of the season. And Carolina finds themselves in a very precarious position here with just one goaltender for as long as this tournament lasts.
And they're going to send Alex Siegfried to the box.
Carolina will play shorthanded here for 2 more minutes. 9:54 to go in the second period. After just recently tying this game up at 2, Kentucky's got a chance to bring their margin out ahead again. A 3-2 lead could be looming here on the horizon. They'll control it down low. A shot in front goes off a couple of skates. Ward was equal to the task. He may have made a few saves there. Spinning away from a check, Ryan Duffy. Duffy shoots one off a leg. It comes to the far side. They'll control. Sliding it again through the slot off a couple sticks. Duffy's got it once more. Duffy looks back over to the point, able to hold it in there. Nice play there by Schultz. They'll cycle again. Through center to Schultz, a shot. He scores! A one-timer upstairs by Beck Schultz, his second of the game. And Kentucky, again, out front with a 3-2 lead.
And up until that point, the Gamecocks had done a perfect job of killing those penalties. But now, with just the offensive schemes, I guess, of Kentucky, you could say, they were moving the ball around. It looked like a Greg Popovich Spurs team on the ice. They were giving it to each player that they could get it to, and eventually able to find an opening and get in the back of the net.
Yeah, just absolutely beautiful cycling on the power play. A lot of times when we see Carolina's power play, not a lot of movement on behalf of the players, a lot of puck movement, but it's Kentucky's ability to follow the puck with the player, and drawing Carolina out of position, able to open up that center ice seam for a nice tap in by Beck Schultz, his second of the game. Carolina trying again desperately to get this game tied up. Now a 2-on-1 for Kentucky. It's Riley. Riley taken down. He's still got the puck. Riley shoots one, and a nice blocker save by Ward. Rebound cleared out ahead off a couple of sticks. It comes up front. Back to get it. That's Payne for Kentucky. Throw it ahead once more. Riley over to his right winger. Takes a hit there from Hickman, and the puck comes loose again in neutral territory. They'll throw it again and dumped back once more. Blake Riley. Haven't seen a lot of Blake Riley tonight, but he's certainly a force right now on this shift for the Wildcats. Puck held in at the blue line by Kentucky. Now it'll be brought ahead. We got a delayed penalty here. Carolina will go to the power play soon. Now a chance through center ice. A shot upstairs. Oh, what a goal! Sean Davis goes upstairs. Absolutely no chance for Francis Ebley. And we've got a tie game once more.
And I was watching, actually, the bench for South Carolina. Absolutely electric and explosive, blowing up after that. And, oh, now we have an injured Gamecock on the ice.
They're waving for the trainers. I didn't see who it was.
He's breathing very heavily.
It looks like it is the goal scorer, Sean Davis, who's down on the ice.
His helmet's off, or mask is off.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it looks like he's holding his head. It looks to be, he may have taken a hit there along the wall.
Something during the celebration.
Absolutely. It's just not what you want to see here. Sean Davis, in all the excitement of the goal being scored and Carolina tying the game, we did not see what happened.
It seems that he may have just lost his edge while celebrating, and it seems he wasn't able to keep his balance and hit the ice pretty hard, and we believe that was
Sean Davis.
That was Sean Davis to hit the ice, and he still has yet to get up.
Wow.
That would be a big loss for the Gamecocks.
Absolutely.
He's the leading goal scorer on the year now with 10 goals. He has 10 assists and 19 points on the season. He's actually second in points for the Gamecocks, and that would be a big loss if he is not able
Davis now back on his feet, being helped off
Yeah, so
by.
now it looks like he's picking up his left leg or his right leg. Excuse me. I'm not entirely sure. And you love to see that your captain helping up a teammate, making sure he's all right.
And again, with such a depleted roster for these Gamecocks, not something you like to see. Sean Davis being carried off. He cannot put any weight at all on that right leg. And just from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, tying the game and losing one of your leading scorers all within the same 5-second span.
And make it even worse, that happening on the celebration, not even during actual gameplay. And just, that's something that you wouldn't think to control or even think that would happen. You could see how in pain he was, whether or not it's because of how injured he is or because of the implications of him not being on the ice and how much that is hurting him emotionally.
8:21 to go in this second period. Carolina recently tying it at 3. It comes off the stick. Sean Davis, an absolute fantastic few games for Davis. Is 9 points before tonight, 9 points, 4 goals, and 5 assists in the previous 5 games. He's been an absolute force for Carolina, and they certainly would not be in the position they are right now without him.
Just one
Face off on the power play here. Carolina controlling it, poked off a stick and slapped back in. A long shot by Tenji off the blocker of Ebley. Now Carolina able to hold it in, at least briefly. They'll poke away at it, and it comes all the way out to center. Jeffrey Kostrepski now. Kostrepski and Soar on the point on this power play. Soar, the goal scorer to give Carolina their second goal. Excuse me, their first goal. Tenji around the near side point. He looks for a lane, shoots one, and almost a chance there. Jeffrey Kostrepski trying to get a stick involved, and the pad of Francis Ebley once again denies him.
And the only upside that you could see from what has happened in the past couple of minutes is that the Gamecocks were able to get that penalty, or that goal, excuse me, before the delayed penalty was called, so they didn't kill the power play before they even had it. Now they still have another chance with 1:30 left to take the lead, and they need to take advantage. And they're 1 for 1 on power plays tonight, so they need to keep that up.
Got a minute and a half of power play time to work with here. Captain Tenji unable to win that face-off. The puck pops up off a couple of sticks. A lot of players pointing at each other. We don't know who it came off of, and at this point in the game, that's huge, because depending on who the puck came off of, that dictates where we have the face-off. And right now, they're ruling it goes off a Kentucky player, not intentionally, so it's not a delay of game penalty, but the puck remains in Kentucky territory. Not for very long, though. Face-off one and slapped down the ice by Kentucky. Jared Ward plays it ahead for his power play men. Jake Tenji winding for, nice fake there from Tenji. He shoots one, a big save. Oh, wow, a pad stop by Ebley. The rebound sitting right there for Schneider. He couldn't tap it in. We tick down to just over a minute to go on this power play. 7:25 to go in the third period. Excuse me, in the second period. I just keep wanting to skip to that third period.
What are you trying to say, Dylan?
I don't even know. Brian Soar down the right wing. Soar shooting one off a body. It's controlled, and now below the goal, Ryan Duffy cleared yet again. And we tick down to 3/4 of a minute of power play time. Again, Carolina tying the game at 3. They're looking to get a 4th one right now. And in terms of momentum, I cannot overstate how big that would be. Soar can't hold it at the line. Now Kostrepski's going to have to pinch over as he's got a streaking Brandon Spindlau. Spindlau lays out. He takes down Kostrepski, and there's going to be another penalty. Delayed call. Soar still got the puck. Kostrepski picks himself up off the ice. Now it'll be a brief 6-on-4 for the Gamecocks until this delayed penalty expires. Picked up and thrown down the ice by Schultz. We've got a tripping call on this play. Brandon Spindlau's going to sit for 2. It's going to be a 14-second 5-on-3 with 6:34 to go in the second period. And again, the stakes continue to get higher as this period marches on. Power plays becoming more and more critical at a very opportune, albeit short period of time, for the Gamecocks to maybe take a lead.
And it has been, for the most part, at least in the second period, completely back and forth. I mean, the Gamecocks, in terms of how dominant the Kentucky Wildcats were the first period, and then how dominant the Gamecocks came out of the break, and now they've been just going back and forth, side to side, if you will, and it doesn't seem like anyone at this point can tip the momentum to their side completely.
Shots right now remain 15 for Carolina, 14 for Kentucky. Offensive zone faceoff yet again. Jake Tenji is the man. He will face off against Beck Schultz, who wins it for his Kentucky Wildcats. Back out to the point to Grayson Curria. Bit of a hurried pass there outside the stick of Jeffrey Kostrepski. He'll circle. Back down low. A chance. Jim Hatton shoots one off a stop. Oh, might have gone off a leg pad. Shot in front again, knocked down in front. Comes back to Curry. Curry slides it over to the left wing point. A shot by Kostrepski off a couple of skates in front. Skitters into the corner. And now a nice clear out by Beck Schultz. The first penalty has expired for Kentucky. Carolina again with a minute and a half to go on this power play. Recent tripping call there. Gray Curry takes it over blue and now center red. He circles back after some nice pressure by Schultz. Some nice one-touch passing by Carolina, although they got a little too carried away with it as they one-touched it right to a Kentucky defender. They'll break it out once more with just over a minute to go. Grayson Curry, we've seen a lot of him tonight. He's played a fantastic game. Curry down the left wing boards. Behind the goal to Schneider. Schneider's hounded there once more. Schneider moves it back up to the point to Tenji. Jake Tenji looking for the one-timer. Shoots one off a couple of pads in front. Kick to one of the sticks and back out. Great keep in by Jake Tenji. Cochran slides it in the slot. His chance on the backhand. Unable to whack that one in was Jimmy Hatton. All the way down they go once more. 39 to go on this penalty kill. On this power play for Carolina. Penalty kill for Kentucky. And they've got to think at least one or two more rushes. Some brief opportunities here for Carolina. And now center ice pass tipped off a stick. That was a nice play there by Bickle, able to disrupt that Carolina breakout. And zone entry as well. But it's held in at the point by Cochran. They'll play pitch and catch. Cochran wants to go to Brian Soar. Soar's not open. Now they center one. Goes off a couple of sticks in front. And now nobody's really going to go after that Kentucky penalty killer. 5, and now we will see this penalty expire. A bit of a miscommunication there between Ward and his defender. Penalty expires, 4:30 to go in the second period. A 3-3 tie. Sean Davis, the man tying it for Carolina. Some collisions on the near side boards. That's Jack Watson. Long shot from the defensive side of the red line for Kentucky. Easily saved there by Jared Ward. They'll cycle it back out to the point. A nice shot there off the stick of Corey Hawkinson. It comes back and it's held in. Oh, only briefly, though. The puck comes back out and near 3-on-2 there. Hawkinson making some nice moves, and now he's knocked down to the ice. Kept in by Soar. Soar, he's bumped off the puck again. Soar's got that long reach, though. Soar able to keep it in. He takes a stick off the hand. He's obviously in some pain. Soar can't quite keep it in. Hawkinson touches it up. There will be an offsides called, and keep an eye on Brian Soar in that right hand. He got the, I believe it's the stick of, might have been Blake Riley off that right hand. He seems to be okay, but he's just favoring that right hand a little bit.
With that long reach, you risk getting some sticks or some bodies and pads in hitting it, and so he might have just gotten it smashed or hit up a bit, but he seems to be fine.
Face off right outside the Kentucky blue line. They will wrist it in and play by a high stick. Blake Drummond, he can't do that. Face off will once again come outside the Carolina zone.
I was just surprised he was actually physically able to do that.
That was some nice hand-eye coordination.
Yeah,
very nice hand-eye coordination by Blake Drummond.
I can't even skate forward.
That's why we're up here. 3:46 to go in the second period. A recent goal of Sean Davis. We'll try to get you those assists on these goals during the intermission. But right now, all we can give you is the information on the goal scorer himself, Sean Davis. And we have not seen him back onto the ice since tumbling down. They'll chip it back in, and Evan Hoey gives chase. A nice breakout pass there, Kentucky. Patrick Lehman. Lehman, a pass to nobody. Goes off of the boards in front of his own bench, and Ward will play it up. Lehman's got it again. Lehman breaking through. Lehman to the goal. A shot, and a nice blocker save by Jared Ward. And now a chance coming through center. It's Jim Hatton. Hatton's got some speed. He lost the puck, though. Picked up by, a nice shot through the crease there from Evan Hoey. Controlled at the point. They'll move it again. Top of the circles, it's Hatton. Hatton can't keep it in. Picked up on the near side of the red line. Thrown back in by Blake Drummond. And we will get a few fresh bodies on the ice here for Carolina. Almost a collision there with Evan Hoey. Ooh, a nice pass in front. Carolina getting some more room here in the neutral zone. Power to leave with speed. Cuts to the middle. A shot off the toe and off the side of the net. A chance for Jim Hatton. Equal to the task was Ebley. Backhand pass over to the defensive partner, Max Boss. He can't handle it. Chipping it ahead. Up off a couple of sticks off the glass and played over the glass into the netting on a backhanded chance there by Blake Drummond.
And like I said, now with all the momentum shifts that we had in the first and second period, or in the first half, the second period, and the first period, now it seems that no one can get any gain or get any momentum or move forward at all, and it just seems to be going back and forth through both zones without any unrelent.
Just really a fantastic atmosphere here at this first game of the SEC tournament. Schultz bringing it ahead now for the Wildcats. He shoots one off a leg, and he goes hard into the corner. He seems to get up okay, though. Back to the point the Wildcats have it. They shoot one low, and a stick stop by Jared Ward. Again in the corner. Kentucky trying to work it. It's Shannon. Shannon in front. Nobody can get a stick on it, though. Shannon's got it again. Backhanded out to the point. Duffy shoots one, and it goes off a few bodies in front. Now Day's got it. He cycles it back up to the point. Duffy again, a quick shot. Bounces in front of Chance. Oh, and a big toe save. Jared Ward robbing Shannon of a sure goal. Huge stop. Amazing extension and flexibility from Jared Ward. Kentucky's not done yet. They'll backhand one up. Can't get it into the zone. Day will just throw it on goal. It's picked up by Dave Cochran. Dave Cochran takes the heat out of a very hot Carolina kitchen and hit into the bench by Day. That looks like it was Dave Cochran. They'll bring it ahead, a 3-on-2 for Kentucky. Moved out wide. Looking back to the point. Now centering pass in front. Another stop by Ward. Carolina needing to get this puck out of the zone. A shot from the point thunders wide. Off the stick of Duffy. Scrum continuing behind the goal. It comes free. A one-handed pass. Ill-advised is picked up by Schultz. Schultz with speed below. Can't control it. He keeps it on his forehand. Up to the point. Duffy again slides it over. Payne. Back down low. Some fantastic cycling here by the Wildcats. Now a chance from center. Dumped out by Nick Pizzo, and he will give some fantastic chase. And now that puck picked up on the near side by Kostrepski. A shot. Goes off a few bodies in front. Kostrepski still going after it. Unable to come away with it, though, as Duffy brings it ahead. Duffy wearing the big 7-4 in his back end blue. Duffy a shot and a big kick save by Jared Ward. Oh, boy, we're going to have a penalty here. Brian Soar picked that puck up and ripped it up over the glass in the defensive zone. Looking like it's going to be a delay of game call here. Is Brian Soar.
But how many times have we seen that from Ward using his entire body, his legs, his toes to make sure that puck is in the back of the net?
I've just been informed that is not a penalty in the ACHA. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Soar will not be assessed a 2-minute minor for delay of game. He gets away with one there. Judging by his reaction, he looked up to the sky. He was very frustrated with himself. I would have assumed it was a penalty. 30 seconds to go in the second period. A tie game, a chance in front. Ward equals the task again. We've got more pushing and shoving. Oh, boy. The sticks are flying. The gloves are flying. We've got shoves up high. This time, Jared Ward not involved. The officials have managed to separate everybody.
But basically everyone else was involved.
Yeah, Jeffrey Kostrepski at the root of it all. Again, facing Jimmy Cash. Cash, a very, very fiery player here tonight for the Wildcats. 25.1. We've seen some fantastic play by Jared Ward. 19 shots for the Wildcats, 18 for the Gamecocks. 25.1 to go in the second period. We've got a 3-3 hockey game. And we're only going to have a few more plays left here in the second period.
And the refs are going to have to do everything they can to make sure they can keep control of this game.
Yeah. This is not the stage where you want to see games get out of hand. That is regular season stuff, not SEC tournament stuff.
Depends on what kind of fan you are.
Wow.
Might be one of those fans that watch NASCAR just for the crashes.
They'll break it out from their own zone. The boys in black. Kentucky now. Jimmy Cash brings it over the line on sides. A nice move to the backhand. Cash shoots one. It might have gone off the goalpost. Beautiful move by Jimmy Cash, but luck was not on his side. The clock hits zeros. We've played 40. We've got 20 to go. Carolina and Kentucky tied at 3 here in the first game of the SEC tournament from Nashville. My name is Dylan Clark. I'm with Jack Taylor. We'll be back for the third period, but right now we're going to step aside for the second intermission. Do not go anywhere.
Especially, we'll be bringing you back with a second intermission report and a little bit of analysis from one of our own from the Daily Gamecock, Mike Woodall, and he will come on and give his analysis on how the game has gone.
Welcome back inside the second intermission report, where your Carolina Gamecocks have recently tied this game against Kentucky at a score of 3-3, a big goal on the power play. And we've got Mike Waddell here. I'm Dillion Clark alongside Jack Taylor, our insider from the Daily Gamecock. Mike, we talked a lot about the play of Sean Davis, and we saw him injured at the end of the period there. Now, we're not entirely sure if Davis will be back for the third, but going forward, we'll say hypothetically Davis is not back. How does that change the atmosphere at all on the bench for Carolina?
Well, I don't know if it's going to change the atmosphere. I mean, for sure, the guys are going to make sure that they're going to push to get one for Davis, certainly. But the thing is, it's going to make a difference on offense. I mean, for everything you see Sean Davis put up on the score sheet for the Gamecocks, he does at least 2 or 3 more things on offense that you don't see. Picking up pucks that might be coming out of the zone, causing turnovers deep on the forecheck. I mean, it's a big loss for Carolina. It's not insurmountable. I mean, they're already without Martone, Van Dusen, Kranis today. So they've overcome that. I mean, they've shown that they're not afraid of Kentucky, and they have every intention of winning this game.
It really is a game of overcoming obstacles for the Gamecocks. Beck Schultz, the leading scorer for Kentucky, he's already notched 2 tonight. And we talked earlier in the broadcast about Carolina needing to shut down the opposition's highest scorers. They haven't done it quite to the degree they've wanted so far tonight, but they find themselves in a 3-3 tie. So I think they're going to want to take the small victory here and maybe just shut him down for the third period.
Now, what do you think, Mike, what do you think Savoie is telling his team right now? What do you think is like the main thing they need to change in order to get on top of this game?
Really, the main thing right now is I don't think they really need to change anything. They came out and they played probably the best 20 minutes of hockey they've played all year in that second period. Right now, the key is don't worry. I mean, that's exactly, I'm positive that's what he told them in the first period is don't worry, it's only 2. You're 2 shots down. You're 1 shot down, essentially, from being 1 shot away from a tie. And now they're back in it. Really, at this point, just make sure passes are getting there. Get shots to the net. For Jared Ward, Ward has had an excellent game. He really has. Just as he did at UNC Charlotte, he's improved immeasurably this year. So as long as they show up for the last 20 minutes and they keep a cool head throughout, I think it's going to be fine. One thing they need to watch is penalties after the whistle. I mean, I'm positive Ward would take back that roughing penalty that ended up with the goal earlier this period. I'm positive he'd take that one back. So they also need to stay out of the box because Kentucky is an incredibly potent, a great scoring team with 5-on-5. If you give them the extra space that power play affords them, then they will put the puck in the net, period.
Absolutely. A fantastic puck-moving team, these Kentucky Wildcats. Got a lot of stuff to keep an eye on here for this third period, and it is certainly cut out to be one of the most exciting sets of 20 minutes we've seen so far this season. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, we will return with the third period here from Nashville on the Capital City Sports Network. right, welcome back. We're just about to start the third period here. Carolina and Kentucky, a 3-3 tie. We just received word Sean Davis will be out for the rest of the night with that right leg injury immediately after scoring the game-tying goal. We're underway here in the third. Dylan Clark alongside Jack Taylor. We are so glad you're with us. And it's going to be a bumpy and exciting ride to the finish here. Probably the most exciting 20 minutes we're going to see all season. Schultz coming out explosively for Kentucky. He throws it around underneath. Ryan Duffy pinches in to get it. Comes back around to the other point, unable to hold it in. Jordan Shannon recording a point in every single game Kentucky has played so far this year, including tonight. Now through center comes Schultz to the forehand, a shot. Oh, and a stop by Jared Ward, extending that right toe. Might have gone off the goalpost as well. Carolina needs to get it out now. They chip it up ahead past the stick of Jim Hatton. It's controlled and rifled back in once more. That one coming off the stick of Matt Pakala. Comes off a few free sticks. Nobody seems to want to get it. Now Jake Tenji's got it. He's got speed, and he's got two Kentucky Wildcats on him. So he thinks better of it. He goes to the bench. Carolina's going to get a full unit change here. A chance in front. Hauled down to the ice. One of the Gamecocks. Now Schneider risks it off a leg in front. Nice job keeping that puck in. Jumps up in the air. Grayson Curry doesn't really know what it is, and it might be a 2-on-1 back the other way for Kentucky. Some nice defensive play there. Defensive effort by Grayson Curry and Dave Cochran. Now Kentucky redirects it again. Chance offsides. Very, very blatantly offsides. Jimmy Cash skating in ahead. And we will get a stoppage of play here. 18:38 to go in the third period of this 3-3 tie in the first game of the SEC tournament.
And this is definitely one of the most important, if not the most important 20-minute period for the Gamecocks in the season so far.
And as if they haven't handled enough adversity so far this season, they're going to handle a little bit more without Sean Davis. But they're going to need guys like Jeffrey Kostrepski to step up if they want to come out on top in this the last 20 minutes of this hockey game. A long shot going off a few bodies in front and lands in the corner. Pass down below. And Kentucky will try to work it underneath. That's Jake Patnow. Patnow pressured hard and knocking down to the ice one of the Gamecocks. Puck squirts free, and Kostrepski's got it. He moves it quick off the skate of Schneider, and Kentucky will regroup. That nice D-to-D pass. They love working that D-to-D pass. And a sauce down the right side, intercepted. Grayson Curry fires one off the official.
The ref in the hip.
And now picked up by Schneider. Trying to redirect it in is Powderly again, the leader in rookie scoring for these Carolina Gamecocks. Kentucky again with a nice setup there in the defensive zone, trying to get a breakout going. Just under 3 minutes left. Excuse me, just under 3 minutes into this period. Nice job and turnover in front of shot. They score! An unbelievable turnover. And this building is absolutely silent except for people in Carolina jerseys right now. Wow.
I am just dumbfounded by that turnover and that goal to follow.
Nobody expected that goal. It coming off a turnover. It was a great effort there by Powderly. And on the backhand, Ben Smith puts Carolina up their first lead of the hockey game.
And this is a huge turn of events and a huge momentum change. Even with losing Davis and having to tie and not being able to break the momentum, and that was the perfect way to start this third period.
That becomes Ben Smith's third goal in 4 games. Now a shot by Powderly, glove down, and stopped by Francis Ebley.
Ref real quick to get in between players right now as it's getting, again, more and more chippy as the period goes on.
Some heated exchanges now. Beck Schultz, again, when you're the leading scorer of a high-profile team like the Wildcats, and you now find yourself down by a goal. There's a lot of pressure, and all eyes fall to you in an effort to try and get your team back from out behind the opposition. Schultz and Tenji, they have faced off more times than anybody else so far tonight, and it's been pretty even. Both men absolutely fantastic when it comes to working the face-off. Offensive zone chance for Carolina. They'll work it back to the point. Nardzliko off a couple of shin guards. And now, instead of pursuing the puck, Jordan Shannon, he throws his hands up to the ref and says, really, come on. I think the wiser play would have been to just go after the puck. But Shannon made his choice. Now Nardzliko jumps it ahead. Thrown back in as Nick Pizzo. Yeah, we'd like to apologize to the Pizzo family. Mr. Pizzo has informed us we have been pronouncing their name wrong for the majority of the season. We apologize for that. Now a chance. Shannon knocked down in front. Brian Soar again on the penalty. A shot by Schultz, stopped again. Ward making 2-3 saves, and now bodies collide in front of the goal. We have a stoppage in play. It'll be another penalty again This one looking like it comes to Brian Soar as Beck Schultz slow to get up. But Jordan Schultz, the victim of that Soar penalty, and Soar being escorted very much against as well to the yawning penalty box doors, which he has gone through so many times this season.
So many times. So that'll add at least 70. That'll make it 73 minutes on the year.
It's more than that because he had a penalty early on in this game.
True, I forgot about that. So I would say at least 75 minutes coming out. And now, the last time Kentucky had the power play, they were able to convert. So let's see how the Gamecocks will change their defensive game plan here.
Carolina running more of a small box pattern on this penalty kill, and that's effective at clogging up the middle. But the way Kentucky cycles the puck and rotates their forwards around somewhat of an axis on that right wing circle, it's really effective in picking apart that Carolina penalty kill. So they'll get another chance to act on this power play. 16:42 to go in the third period. Carolina recently making it a 4-3 lead on the goal by Ben Smith. Kentucky brings it in with speed. That puck pops right back out over the line. Some great defensive play by Corey Hawkinson. Some players get tangled up for Kentucky. They bring it back in now. Jimmy Cash slides one around Duncan Hickman. Cash again, back out to the point. That's Duffy. Duffy hounded, and now it's going to be a chance. Ben Smith can't get through. Puck wrestled away from him and fired off the glass. A nice defensive play by Hoey once more. How many times have we said that tonight? A long stretch pass on the power play could not be connected, and now a pickup. It's Duffy. Duffy handing it off. A chance up high, and a bit off the face mask there at Jared Ward. Kentucky still continues to cycle. It's Schultz at the point. Schultz looking for the hat trick. Slides it over to Duffy. Duffy, a nice play there. Punched ahead. Coming off the stick of, I guess off the fist of, that's Nick Pizzo again. Now Schultz comes through, he shoots, and he scores. A power play goal. Beck Schultz goes short side, and he's got the hat trick, and he gets Kentucky back in this hockey game. We're tied at 4 once again.
And that was just the ability from Schultz to get it in the crease, get it in the offensive zone, get around defenders, and just find an opening that he was able to feed it into. And absolutely fantastic work from Schultz. And it seemed again, as with the first couple of Schultz goals, that the defense for the Gamecocks was fairly lacking.
Obviously, the hands of Beck Schultz stand out to anybody who watches him, but I think the more and more you watch him, the more you see his edge work and his skating ability is what's allowed him to generate now 33 goals in this 17-18 campaign. And Shannon knocked down by Nardslicko. Kentucky brings the puck in despite that. Behind the goal, Jimmy Cash. Cash at the center of the physical battle tonight. He takes a hit from Kostrepski. A chance in front, poked away. Schneider's got it for Carolina. They bring it back ahead with speed and numbers. A nice hip check there. Down to the ice goes Corey Hawkinson off the hit by, might have been Cash. Held in on the line by Nardslicko. Off the skate of Hawkinson. Back to the point. Soar shoots one off a couple of skates in front. Goes wide. Kostrepski tries to center one. It goes off the center of the cage once again. Nardslicko, that left-handed shot on that left point, able to hold that puck in. Now we got 3 Wildcats on 1 Gamecock. Obviously not the numbers they want there. Brian Soar taken in, not even going for the puck. Aaron Bickle, he's got to be separated from Brian Soar. No call on the play. Neither one of those men went to go for the puck. They just went right after each other. Kentucky regroups. They'll slide that puck ahead. Soar remains on the ice. Bickle went to the bench, and he'll slide it over to Nardslicko. Off a stick. Great play there by Ian Schneider. Tipping that puck at the red line, avoiding the icing, and allowing at least one of the forwards and both defensemen to get a line change here. Puck popping up in the air. Schneider gets it again. That's Dave Cochran. Puck gloved down, thrown behind the net by Matt Pakala. And it comes back to Pakala. Pakala's got it stripped off his stick. Ben Smith, the cause of that strip. And now, coming up with a flying elbow there. Jack Watson, the arm of the referee, once again up in the air. And Watson trying to argue his case with the official, but the second Carolina touches this puck, it's going to be another penalty. Back ahead come the Wildcats. A chance in front to the backhand. They score! Mike DeAngelis. Kentucky takes the lead. It's 5-4 with 13:56 in the third period. And the tables turn every 2 or 3 minutes in this game.
And Kentucky had even gone so far as to pull their goalie, brought him on the bench to get that extra man on the attack, and it just seemed to overwhelm the defense for the Gamecocks, allowing someone to slip through the cracks, unmanned, unmarked, and just get one. I mean, I don't think there was much Ward could do there.
No, it's the speed through the neutral zone that's really been the bread and butter of the Wildcats so far tonight. And again, Carolina finding themselves in a hole once more. They got a lot of time to work with, though. And oddly enough, even though the goal was scored on the delayed penalty, we still find Jack Watson sitting in the penalty box for 2 minutes. It will be an elbowing call.
Just as you said, because the Gamecocks had yet to touch the puck, the penalty was not called, so they were able to get the goal before.
It would still be, normally it would still be washed out though, the penalty, because the goal happened.
But that was why we got the goal, our third goal. Fairly certain.
Alex Kranis continues to discuss with the referee, and nothing will come out of it. Carolina still finds himself shorthanded, so a chance for Kentucky here to go up by 2 with a decent amount of time here in the third. They'll go D to D. Beck Schultz, 3 goals tonight. He finds himself anchoring this power play once more. They'll hit it ahead now. Shannon can't hold it in. Shannon doesn't know what to do with it. He's got the puck off sides, and Powderly really going after Shannon. Wow.
Tenji flying and just very aggressive. And now he's putting his hands up, and it seems Shannon even has his stick just around Tenji. Now that they haven't even stopped play yet, but not entirely sure what's going on over there.
Tenji and Shannon. It's the stick of Shannon all wrapped up in the sleeve of Jake Tenji. Nobody really knew what was going on a while. All the players, they continued to play, but every single one of them looking over at the altercation between Captain Tenji and Jordan Shannon of Kentucky. They finally get a whistle blown, and the faceoff will come outside on the near side, right outside this Carolina zone. Again, Carolina finding themselves in penalty trouble tonight. A big kill here, a minute 33 to go on the penalty to Jack Watson. Carolina able to win that faceoff. Nice play back to the D-man and out of the zone. Kentucky will have to regroup. Shannon again down that right wing where he has been all night. Shannon shoots one and a nice save right on. And Jared Ward more than equal to that task.
And it just seems that as the game is going on, the tension's going stronger. Obviously, with a single elimination, you figure that the intensity of each team is going to grow as the period goes through.
Absolutely, and we talked about it a lot, but I still don't think we've talked about it enough. The immense amount of pressure on Jared Ward. He came into this season as a backup. He was clearly going to start behind Bobby Lombardi, and the injuries came, and Ward has been more than equal to this task, and he's played fantastically over the last few stretches of games. So the mental game is strong with Jared Ward, and it's interesting that we say that because I still remember that first game. We saw Jared Ward, and not the kind of play that he would like to demonstrate, but he's certainly gotten better now. Now it's chance up high. They score!
Or not.
Wow. A left-handed shot on the left side, beating Ward short side over the blocker. And that goal coming off the stick of Jimmy Cash. Kentucky scores on the power play. 12:55 to go in the third. They are now up by a score of 6-4. The shots still even, but the gap widening now, 24-21 in favor of the Wildcats.
And now we're back to square one with Kentucky amassing a 2-goal lead, and Gamecocks with a lot less time on their hands, and they can't wait for the next period to try to tie this game up again.
I think just like Mike Waddell said in the intermission report, Carolina needs to stay calm if they want to find themselves back in this game and are in a stable position to kind of launch themselves back into relevance here in the third period. Comes back to the point, Hickman, and now the physical game coming back through. Seen a lot more players bumped off pucks. We've seen a lot more players bumped off nowhere near the puck. And the penalties and physicality continue to be a factor here. The good old ACHA. A hit at center ice, and now that puck goes way out, coming off the stick of one of the Kentucky defenders. Might have been Max Boss. And it seems for long stretches that the Wildcats, they're dumping this puck in and not really pursuing it. But then all of a sudden, they dump in, they come with numbers, they forecheck, and they kind of lull the Gamecocks into almost a false sense of security.
I was going to say that. It's almost like they're trying to almost keep the Gamecocks off guard and able to strike when they least expect it.
Absolutely. It's something we've seen from some teams, but again, this is the Kentucky squad that beat Georgia, and we all know how the Georgia game went just a few weeks ago. A turnover in the offensive zone. Carolina's got it. A nice defensive play, and now hauled down to the ice. One of the Gamecock forwards, almost a nice chance. It was Ben Smith. Ben Smith looking for a second goal of the game. Now a turnover again in the slot. A chance, shooting one over the goal. Blake Drummond. Not off a stick, not off a skate. It was just the follow-through of Drummond, unable to get a good clean shot off, and the puck pops over. We've got more pushing and shoving. Nothing will come of it, though, because the officials now almost automatically escorting players.
Well,
to the
they
bench.
have to at this point. And it almost seems like, and I was there again, it seems like Jordan Shannon is either the recipient or the instigator in almost every one of these scrums, you could say.
Shannon, one of the bigger bodies on this Kentucky team.
Maybe one of the less level heads.
Face off to the left. Francis Ebley. Won by the Gamecocks. Nice offensive zone win there. Soar tries to shoot it off a couple of skates. Soar unable to hold it in, but he backhands it through. And now Kentucky controls off that. Now more speed from Beck Schultz. Schultz, the right wing, a shot. Catches the glass in behind Ward. Back to the point, held in. Not for the entire time, though. Kentucky's got to regroup at center. A nice 1-2 touch there. Jordan Shannon. And Ward almost mishandled it behind the goal. Now a couple of chances on the side of the net for Kentucky. Held in again by Duffy. Duffy shoots one in front. Ward doesn't know where it is. He made the save. Rebound comes into the corner. Kostrepski's got to take care of it. Kostrepski now nards Licko. They'll battle away with Day. Now a chance in front. Schultz looking for number 4. He's denied by the left pad of Jared Ward. Comes back out, wristed back in. Matt Pakala. Now Ward again mishandling that puck. He's lunging out, and the composure seems to be drying up quickly here for Jared Ward and the South Carolina Gamecocks. Puck coming up off the glass. Kostrepski's got to make a quick decision here as he faces pressure from Jimmy Cash. Cash scoring earlier on in this third period. And now Brian Soar backhands one between his legs. Another defensive zone turnover. Cash has shot off a couple of legs. And now Schneider's got him. One of the Kentucky defenders tumbles down to the ice. Schneider's got some speed, but he's got all 5 on him. A nice blocker stop there by Ebley. And another hit on the near side. That's Jake Tenji. And he's shoved back down to the ice as he's trying to get up. Zach Chamrick, the target of that hit there. Tenji comes in hard with speed. He and Chamrick will collide once more. They'll come together along that left side boards. Tenji is centering pass in the high slot. A shot off a leg. A nice chance there by Drummond. Nothing will come of it. And now a chance in front. Pizzo's got it. He's looking. He can't get it to Jimmy Hatton in the slot, though. They'll cycle it back down low. Kentucky just rimming it up and out. Held in there, Ihoe, but not permanently as the puck comes back out to center. Blake Drummond's got to make a decision now. Comes back to him and squibs between his legs. Evan Hoey's got it. He'll fire it way up. He'll get no icing. As it may have gone off one of the Kentucky players going for a line change. And now a chance in the offensive zone. That's Jim Hatton. Hatton behind the goal. He's got 2 Kentucky players on him. Nobody can get to it. Ben Smith now backhands it away. A couple players tumble down to the ice. You see that a couple of times now. Just players falling for no apparent reason. Another big hit at center ice. Again, Evan Hoey, the recipient for Carolina of that large hit. Now, puck picked up by Powderly. Very briefly, though, as it is slapped back out to center ice. And a big hit put on Blake Drummond. Physical game becoming more and more one-sided as we see the seconds tick off here. Just approaching 9 minutes to go in the third period. Kentucky recently made it a 2-goal lead once again. The score now sits at 6-4. A centering shot goes off a couple of bodies. No big chance there for Carolina. Another shot by Blake Drummond goes into the corner. Chance below. Jack Watson. And now another stop by Francis Ebley. And we'll have another stoppage of play with 8:49 to go in the third period.
Another one, but I mean, it hadn't been a stoppage in a minute or so. And as that seemed almost like pandemonium and just mass hysteria from both teams, it didn't seem like there's any sort of structure or organization. It seems as though the Gamecocks are kind of in a panic mode, just trying to get the puck in the back of the net any way they can. And just it's very erratic right now.
Carolina taking a lot of shot opportunities, unable to get a lot on goal. Now Grayson Curry again, just proving my point right there, shooting one off the leg of one of the defenders. And now here comes Shannon, and 2 Gamecocks collide. And now it's a chance for Schultz. Schultz to Shannon. He scores! Jordan Shannon, it's 7-4 Wildcats. And that just might be the one that breaks the back of the Carolina Gamecocks.
And that was just produced by not even a mistake. It just seems like the 2 defenders didn't even see each other, and by the time they did, it was too late, clearing up that 2-to-no-one opening and allowing them to just easily push that puck in the back of the net. And that might be the body blow.
It didn't seem to be a big chance at all once they brought that puck over center ice, but Shannon made a nice move. Curry collides with, I believe it was Evan Hoey, and all of a sudden it's a 2-on-0, and Jared Ward is absolutely left out to dry. Nothing anybody can do about that one. Now Powderly brings it ahead for Carolina. He's still got a spark. He backhands one through the crease. That comes back to the point where Hickman will slap it back in. Hickman takes a check there, just as he has all night. Now a running check. Wow. Oh, boy, Evan Hoey. Now we've got goaltenders going after Hoey. Everybody's going after Hoey. Hoey leaving his feet to make that hit there. An extremely dangerous play. He'll be assessed a charging major again. You can't leave your feet. Goaltender Francis Ebley was the quickest one to go after Hoey there.
And goalies in rare form right now, just and completely on fire and trying to control their tempers, but not doing a good job of it. Anytime you see a hockey player leave his feet on the ice and the way he's moving, that is going to be a dangerous hit no matter how he is coming to the player he's trying to hit.
Luckily, no injuries on that play, but we will have yet another penalty. This time, Evan Hoey will be the man that sits in the box. 2 minutes. Again, Carolina finds themselves down. And 8:14 to go in the third period. A 3-goal lead for Kentucky and the chance to make it 4. The outlook is not all that positive for the South Carolina Gamecocks right now. But they'll just try to focus on this penalty kill. A nice hit there by Hickman. Another penalty is called.
And if we could see a 5-on-3 here, might just be opening the floodgates for Kentucky.
Arguing his case with the official now. Looks like Brandon Spindlow again. Yeah, that's Spindlow again. He'll take the face off. Actually, no penalty called. It's just an odd stoppage of play. I guess the puck got lost under Spindlow. Shot off the draw. Save. Rebound. Oh, wow. Rebound put over the net by Shannon. Comes back to the point again. Over to Schultz. Winding. Firing. A stop by Ward. Loose puck settles right below the goal line. And Carolina able to take the heat out of the hot kitchen again. Now it's going to be a break the other way. Schultz shoots one almost on his own net in an attempt to get that puck out. It seemed to work, though. It'll be an odd man rush for the game. For the Wildcats. Bringing it back in. Duffy. Duffy faces pressure here. That'll be Corey Hawkinson. He's played a heck of a game, even though the Gamecocks find themselves in a 3-goal lead. Cycling it again. This systematic, controlling power play of the Wildcats. It seems to be a little too much for the Gamecocks right now. Comes back to Schultz on the right side point. A tip in front, and it goes wide. They put it in front again. Now it'll be a chance for Pizzo. He's just going to wrist it out towards center. Schultz got it control. Carolina trying to make a line change, and Schultz is going to exploit that. Schultz down the right side. He centers one, and almost a one-timer there. Wow, Duffy's got another chance. Comes back out to the point. Day over to Shannon. Shannon shoots one, and a nice sliding block there. That one coming off of Duncan Hickman. 43 seconds to go. And now the puck comes free. Shannon's got it again with speed. Drops off to Schultz, a shot just off the cuff of the glove of Jared Ward up into the netting behind him. And we will have yet another stoppage of play with 36 seconds to go on the penalty. 6:49 to go in regulation.
Doing a fairly good job of trying to kill this penalty, as I will knock on wood to not jinx that. But it just seems that Ward is so much more collected when he knows that he has his help in front of him. And then when it comes to having an empty defensive zone, that's when he seems to be in the fault.
A lot of shot blocks by the Gamecocks, and that one not blocked. That puck coming off the stick of Jimmy Cash. Cash again, a goal scorer earlier on in the night. He is not as prominent as Beck Schultz or Jordan Shannon or even at this point Ryan Duffy's had a heck of a game. But Jimmy Cash, he's played fewer minutes, but he's made him count really a lot here for the Wildcats, especially on the power play. Unable to win that faceoff. Greg Curry risks it out for Carolina. Comes off the glass, and Jim Hatton will pressure. 22 seconds to go on this penalty. A charging minor to Evan Hoey. Could have been a lot more if he would have injured the player. Drop pass. I got to pick up as a drop pass to Aaron Bickle. Now they'll slide it back across. Second unit on now for this Kentucky power play. Nobody really able to come up with possession. It comes behind Jared Ward. They'll slide it back across. Aaron Bickle picks it up. He's unable to control it. Kostrepski shoots one up. Out of the box comes number 12, Jack Watson. Schneider pressuring. Clock just about to fade over the 6-minute mark here in the third period. Kentucky leading 7-4. 3 players collide on the far side boards right in front of that Kentucky bench. And the puck shot up off a couple of players. Whoa, and now Jake Tenji aggressively going after the stick of, that's Patrick Lemon. And now Jake Tenji's going to be shown the door, the penalty box door, that is. He hasn't been kicked out of the game just yet. But you got a slashing call. Carolina going again to the penalty kill. And the composure at this point is all but lost.
Well, at this point, they seem to believe that this might be the last relevant game of the tournament for them, so they might as well leave it all out on the ice, if you will. And it come into question in my mind with the score the way it is and with the power play impending when Kentucky starts to bring in the rest of their lineup to rest their starters.
We'll see 2 more minutes of shorthanded action here for the Gamecocks. Puck takes an awkward bounce off the stanchion, and Ian Powderly's going to have a chance here from center. Powderly takes it out wide. He's got it poked off his stick, and now he'll collide with another Wildcat behind the play. Wow, he takes a nice whack to the leg there as the puck comes down into offensive territory. We got another penalty, and it's going to be Brandon Spindlau. He's going to head to the box. Powderly kind of instigated that penalty there. It was a bit of an artful move there by Powderly. A couple of shoves on Spindlau, not called. Spindlau turns around and gives him a nice whack across the ankles, and that play certainly called. So we will skate 4-on-4 here for about 1:42. And tempers flare. We've seen that at this point in the hockey game. Carolina just they're not even trying to keep their heads anymore. They're a bit more blatant with how they're going to play the last few minutes of this game.
At this point with the circumstances, I don't even think they care right now. They're just looking to go as hard as they can for the next 5.5 minutes.
It's a shame to see that Carolina came out with such ferocity and such guts in the first period and even the earlier stages of the second period. It's a shame to see that play kind of go out the window here. And now a chance for Schultz, goes to the forehand. Oh, wow. Unbelievable. I don't know how he kept that puck out. Might have been a save by Jared Ward. Might have been a great defensive play on the back check there.
Wouldn't surprise me if it was another toe save.
By the way, and now awkwardly crashing into the boards. Jim Hatton, he's tripped by, Jordan Shannon. He'll argue his case with the official, but either way, Shannon's going to join his buddy in the box. It'll be Shannon and Spindlau in the box now. A 4-on-3 in favor of the Gamecocks because, don't forget, still in the box, Jack Watson. Or Jake Tenji, Jake Tenji. Minute 12 will be how long we skate 4-on-3. And looking ahead, Carolina's still guaranteed another game here in this tournament. It will be.
We won't know the time or the opponent until tomorrow because we are the first game in this tournament.
Jared Ward now on the bench here. Carolina putting out that 5th man. It's Ian Schneider. And then it'll be 5-on-3. Looking at the empty net and a shot off the outside of the cage. That would have sealed it for Jimmy Cash. Brian Soar, Carolina. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. Score 3 goals here in 5 minutes, but Jeffrey Kostrepsky's going to try to do it here. He brings it ahead. Powderly can't quite control it. It comes back outside. Powderly can't hold it in the line. He's got a bunch of sticks coming down at his ankles, and now getting free down towards the empty net goal, and there it is. 8-4 Kentucky. Jimmy Cash scores again, and that will seal the deal here.
I was playing here in...
I was going to say 4:33 left in this third period.
I was playing here in the Predators practice arena. It kind of reminds me back to, I believe it was the 4th or 5th game of the Stanley Cup Finals this year where Predators were looking to come back and they pulled their goalie out and they tried, but Penguins were able to seal it with a couple of empty net goals. And we can see as that banner's hanging with the Western Conference Championships, and me being a Predator fan myself, it's hard to see another team go down like that, especially standing next to a Penguins fan. As you are.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what? The viewers need to know.
We're going to skate 4-on-3 here. I doubt that head coach Alan Surwa will pull Jared Ward again. It's the overall dejected feeling of the team. You can really, it's not exactly the easiest thing to explain, but you can tell how a team's feeling just by the way they're skating. And right now, the body language of the Gamecocks is just of utter defeat and just overall disappointment.
And it's so sad to see because for the momentum they were coming off from the Charlotte game to end their regular season the way that they did, and for that to just not translate at least into the full amount of this game or the full time of this game just is really disappointing to see.
Puck cleared yet again. Ward elects not to play it. He'll have Grayson Curry to pick it up for him, and he'll bring it ahead over near side blue, center red, and now far blue. It'll be Jack Watson. Watson below the goal with 3:46 to go. An 8-4 hockey game now. Kentucky recently making that margin 4 goals. Jack, almost a nice play there. Jack Watson. And the puck chips all the way back out over center, and now Grayson Curry's going to have to race to get that puck. Almost an aggressive collision there. And Grayson Curry, man, almost hit into the bench. Curry getting a nice whack there into the player, number 43. We do not have a name for number 43. It's not on the Kentucky website. Number 43, a bit of a mystery player.
We have learned over the course of the season that the hockey websites and some of the websites just for rosters are not the most reliable. or the most dependable when it comes to the name, spelling, numbers, and general overall information about the band.
Yeah, for instance, Nick Dzerzhinsky was not added to the online roster until just a few days ago. And also, Corey Hawkinson and Blake Drummond also listed both players as number 5 on the ACHA website. So it was a lesson we learned early on, but now we know who's who. Hawkinson obviously wearing 3, Drummond wearing the number 5. And both men obviously really not playing that poor of a game tonight. It's been a good effort from them, at least on the defensive zone. But when you see 8 goals on the board, it doesn't really line up with that level of play.
But a very dependable performance from Hawkinson, and something we haven't really seen all that much this year.
Hatton coming ahead now with some speed. He might have a 2-on-1. Now Hatton's got the stick slashed out of his hand, and a nice, wow. He got another little whack on the, I don't know if it was the hands afterwards, and again, no penalties called other than the initial slash.
But still a lot of stoppage of time for these
A lot of stoppage of time. And it's just some of these plays. There's Aaron Bickle right there, just turning around and whacking just right across the hands, and
just careless.
It's careless, and it's everybody. There's no, you can't point fingers. It's at this point, it's both teams, both clubs they're kind of committed to that level of play here for the remaining 3 minutes of this hockey game. Not the level of play you want to see is that puck thrown on goal, gloved easily by Francis Ebley. He's let up 4 goals on 23 shots tonight, but when it has really come down to it, Ebley's been he's been the more solid of the 2 goaltenders. All the way back at center ice, Evan Hoey. This is an offensive zone faceoff for the Gamecocks, but Hoey decided to line right up on that Predators logo. Apparently he'll bring it out wide. That's Jimmy Hatton, excuse me. Hatton now. He'll throw it in front at Chance. Nothing doing there. It'll come back over to the point. Thrown over. Jeffrey Kostrepski shoots one off a body and might have gone off the goalpost.
Looked like it almost went off his back.
Jim Hatton down below makes a nice move. Hatton still got it on the backhand now. Hatton walks out. He'll walk down and back below. It comes off a stick. Back to the point. Hoey. Hoey winds and fires through traffic. We got a mouth guard coming back over the blue line. I almost thought it was the puck for a second. And then the puck comes over into the Kentucky bench. We'll have a stoppage of play with 2:25 to go in the 3rd period. Now, Jack, I guess the question on everybody's mind is what is next? And the answer is we don't know. There will be one more game. They call it the consolation game for the Gamecocks. That will come tomorrow. We will release the information, the time, and opponent on that. Is a nice chance there. Wow,
4 shots flying.
Yeah, he's getting a couple of sticks to the back. There's Corey Hawkinson. And honestly, I'm surprised the officials haven't started handing out major penalties because these are just blatant attacks. And it's on both sides of the puck, too. And again, it's like I don't remember which game it was, but I was very adamant about the role of the officials protecting the players. And right now the players are just going after each other with everything they have. Cross checks to the back of the head, slashes to the hands and up high in the body. It's not good to see. And now a big check there. That's Nick Quinnan. And now a chance coming ahead. The mystery number 43 player for Kentucky. He's got it on the backhand, a shot. A nice save there by Jared Ward. They'll move it back out. Carolina able to get possession of it. It comes ahead now. Corey Hawkinson. He's got a 2-on-1, trying to get it over to Schneider. A backhander by Hawkinson, stopped by Ebley. More players collide below the goal line. Hawkinson again. He tumbles down to the ice. Minute 40 to go here, 3rd period. Score 8-4 in favor of Kentucky. Back to get it, Duncan Hickman. He'll throw it up to Dave Cochran. Cochran chased in a bit of a lunging hit there, coming from Mike DeAngelis. Puck off the boards now. It's going to be Hickman. Hickman shoots one, and a nice pad stop there by Ebley. And a shot up high by Powderly just goes right over the goal. And that puck was labeled to go bar south, but unfortunately would not go. And now a chance ahead. Here it comes. DeAngelis to the backhand, and he scores! Another goal by Mike DeAngelis, doing the same thing he did on his first goal. A speedy breakaway coming through center, and he turns it to the backhand, puts it right over that right pad of Jared Ward. And Carolina now looking at a 9-4 deficit. It is a very, very sarcastic wave from Francis Ebley all the way down to our left, at Jared Ward all the way down to our right. And if that doesn't sum up the game, I don't know what does.
I don't know what does either, and I think that at this point they get it. Just the Gamecocks' biggest concern is making sure that this isn't a double-digit score that they are letting up, and just hope to fix things for tomorrow. come off the consolation game with a good note and be ready for Clemson next week.
Really, Kentucky throughout this, nobody really expected them to do this much damage this year. Again, 1972, they upset Georgia. Georgia, the #1 seed, and nobody beats Georgia. So the Kentucky was going to have an interesting tournament ahead of them, as we have more collisions and words from Ian Powderly as that puck sails into the right wing Carolina corner. They'll try to center it as we are under a minute to play here in the third period. The score now stands at 9-4 in favor of these Kentucky Wildcats. And the game very close up until the beginning of this third period. Hoey brings it in. He'll wind one, shoot one. A nice blocker save by Ebley. They'll move it around back to the point. Hoey not going to try to do it very much with it. They'll poke it ahead. Now the puck thrown all the way over, as we will see the final 10 fall off. Again, we will try to distribute as much information to you about Carolina's next game. It will be their last game of this tournament. Kentucky will move on as we see this puck sail into the corner. Evan Hoey back to get it. He'll wind one and fire one all the way around. The clock hits zeros. The final score here in Nashville, Kentucky 9, Carolina 4. Kentucky moves on, and Carolina will be forced to play for either the 5th or 7th place slot. It was really a tale of two games between the first two periods and the third. We will step aside, but when we come back, we'll have the post-game show for you. It'll be a brief one. We'll discuss the mindset going forward and some of the, just really what the conversation is now inside that Carolina locker room. Alongside Jack Taylor, my name is Dillion Clark, and you're listening to the Capital City Sports Network presented by SGTV. We will be right back. All right, welcome back inside the broadcast booth for the final time tonight. The final score here in Nashville, Carolina falling to the Kentucky Wildcats by a score of 9-4. Carolina will have just one more game in this tournament. It'll be a consolation game of sorts. They will play for either the 5th or the 7th spot in this tournament. That is out of 8 teams. We don't have the information about the time or the opponent. We will tweet that out to you as soon as we get it. But really, tonight is really, again, like I said before we went to break, it really is the tale of two periods. Really, the difference between the second and third period is unbelievable. And
even just the between the beginning, or maybe the middle of the second period, and then the beginning of the third, it just seemed like everything was going the Gamecocks' way, and then. Not even, and the score on the board doesn't even tell the true story of the game. After, I'd say, the 5th or maybe even the 6th goal, it just seemed after they had gotten the lead 4-3, and then they were able to tie it and get the lead. I think from there it just continued to snowball, and from then on the Gamecocks just couldn't find an answer. And I think that just we knew there was issues about their stamina or about their longevity as a team, and it's sad to see, as you know, they were able to at least win a game last year in the tournament, get to that second round, and then have that shootout with Florida to now know that they'll be playing tomorrow, and then that'll be it.
Yeah, again, not the desired outcome for Carolina, but I guess looking forward, there were some positives to this game. They came out extremely well. They continued extremely well throughout the latter stages of that third period, but really, I think in the end they really ended up playing themselves, because what we've seen consistently throughout this season is if they get down by maybe a goal or two in the any point in the third period, that really seems to be it. They just kind of fold and decide that the game is over right then and there, and that's not what SEC champion caliber teams do, and that's why we saw Kentucky they were put back on their heels a little bit there. It was a Carolina team that eventually jumped out to a 4-3 lead at one point in that second period. But Kentucky, they didn't lose their composure. They kept it, and they came back, stormed all the way back to put up 9 goals tonight on this their very flustered Carolina team.
Well, I think you articulated perfectly. I think that the Gamecocks just unfortunately fell under their own weight and under the pressure, and eventually reverberated back to the Gamecocks that we know and get annoyed with, is that the hot-headed, sloppy offense that we've seen, and the lack of communication on defense. And that was, I think, Ward's biggest problem. Because all in all, I think Ward did an okay job tonight, and it was more the fact that when it seemed when Ward was able to get that help on defense, that he was surefire. And I understand that's easy for a goalie to say. When you have defense, obviously you can do well, but it was truly apparent when he didn't have that help, and when he was by himself, he didn't have the instincts to be able to keep the puck out of the back of the net.
Really, when we see this Carolina team out there, it's they really decide their own fate, and tonight was absolutely no exception to that. And that's going to wrap it up for us here in the broadcast booth. Again, we will have one more game for you tomorrow here from Nashville. We'll tweet out the details of that as soon as we get them. For all of us here, special thanks to, again, D'Angelo Stevenson, Brandon Alter, Mike Waddell, Vince over there, our technical producer, and alongside Jack Taylor, I'm Dylan Clark. Thanks for joining us. Good night, Carolina. Forever to thee.